cheers to episode 159.
Cheers.
You're not drinking like bougie sparkling water, are you? That's gross. Texas has changed you.
Yes, I am. Pellegrino.
Evan, bully this kid.
Bush Light.
Whiskey. But enjoy your Pellegrino.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
My parents like it, and they bought it while they were here because they stayed in my apartment.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy Leif Erikson Day.
Can I see what the bottle even looks like? Sorry, I was too busy. Yeah, I've never
Don't hurt me.
It's okay.
Tonight is Sunday, March 17th, 2024. The time is 8:34 p.m. Eastern, 7:34 p.m. Central Time. Welcome into the number one all-around sports podcast in the state of Michigan. And 26 and counting. Congratulations, boys. 26 and counting. We're
Well
streaking.
done. Very deserved. Great basketball
We're streaking.
team.
You did it.
When I think of teams
Not
most
even on the
deserving
bubble.
for this tournament, I think Michigan State. My boy AJ.
Yes, sir.
Ready to make a run.
Yep. Haters are sick.
Oh, the Penguins just scored again. Red Wings are down 6-3.
No Red Wings updates anymore from this podcast. Did you want us to riff on the Michigan State making the tournament or no?
You want to do a little riff sesh?
I don't know. It seems like you've lately wanted us to riff in the beginning of shows.
A little freestyle sesh.
Yeah. I'll drop the
Evan's-
beat. Evan, you rap.
I don't know what
everyone
everything
Three
means.
words.
I'm
Everyone
not
just
rapping.
guess
Absolutely
what
not.
Evan grabbed.
I'm not doing
Evan
that.
just grabbed an animal cracker?
Skittles.
Nope. Skittles are overrated.
Oh, good. Peanut M&Ms.
Mini Starburst.
Oh.
Peanut M&Ms.
Great choice. I had some yesterday.
Oh. All right, what are we going to talk about on the show?
What are we
We're
gonna talk
about?
All right, guys. What are we going to talk about today?
We're going to talk about what happened in our lives. Alex's mommy and daddy visited him.
Don't talk about them like that.
Bought him some San Pellegrino. I bet you guys had a lot of wine this weekend.
Well,
Yep.
let's show.
Whoa.
Live.
We're live. We're mobile. This feels like this
Live.
whole stream could come crashing down.
I don't want everyone to see my, entire apartment, but my parents did buy all this stuff. They said I had to have it. Why?
12 bottles?
Why 12? Well, there was 15, but we drank 3 of them. Why do I need all that? I don't know. But shout out them.
12 bottles?
The Gillens can drink wine like water. It's
Dude,
truly stunning.
They put it down.
Or like
It is.
fish.
It is remarkable.
They just feed their gills. No pun intended by
It's
Gillens.
true.
We're going to talk about what happened in our lives. Maybe a little movie review. I did see Dune 2, so I can catch up with the boys. There will be spoilers, so buckle up for that. Conference tournament week preview. Review. I almost said preview. Review. A lot of upsets all over the place, which almost put our favorite team in jeopardy, but never
It
doubt.
actually didn't.
Coaching change in our state. Juwan Howard is out at Michigan. We'll dive into that and everyone's favorite update. Coaching searches.
Bye-bye.
Red Wings update, just briefly. This is not really the show for them, but briefly. And then we fill out our bracket, an annual tradition. People may not know the rules, but you get one override. One override each of us, which really can cause chaos in the tournament. So, without further ado, Alex, your week. What has happened to you since we last recorded?
As mentioned, my mother and father came Thursday. So took a half day Thursday, picked them up from the airport.
Wait, so no work Monday,
Did not work
You were-
Monday.
Tuesday, Wednesday, half day.
Tuesday,
Thursday.
Wednesday until 8 p.m. both days. So
Okay.
we got our hours
Okay.
in. Thursday,
All right.
half day. Got a long week ahead. Picked them up from the airport Thursday. We went out to dinner Thursday evening. Went to a place called Hugo's. It's like a fancy upscale Mexican restaurant.
Mm.
That did something I've never done before. You got a tequila sipper. Like I got tequila. I didn't take it as a shot. I just drank it as if like I was drinking whiskey type of thing. You know? Just neat. Very good. It's like smoothest tequila I've ever tasted. Don't know what it was called. Sorry. But it was good. It was weird.
Ice?
No. Neat, Grant. Neat means nothing.
I didn't hear you say neat. My apologies if you said neat. I know what neat means.
Okay, just making sure. Had that. Had a very, very good meal. Very good meal there. Had some like it was called crispy duck, like carnitas thing. I don't really know how to describe it.
I was hoping you said carnitas. I love that shit.
So it was very, very, very good.
I had carnitas too. No spoilers.
Nice. Yeah. So good dinner. Friday, they wanted to, see where I lived. So we walked from my apartment through the parks, downtown, the whole shebang. Very, long walk, kind of exhausting. I will say, like, I don't know if you guys ever had to have this happen where your parents visit you somewhere else and stay with you. But it is an interesting dynamic. My dad wakes up at 4:30 in the morning. So they slept in my room and then I slept on the couch. And yep, my dad comes out at like 4 or 5 o'clock a.m. on Friday. Where's your coffee? Where's the bag? just like looking for everything. And I'm like, he's like, do you have a light? And I have these like little, like these ones. Like these ones are in my kitchen. And they like shine off this. And he finds it. And then he comes, hey. He shines it in my face. He's like, I think you're out of coffee filters. I was like, no, Dad, I have like 7 boxes. Okay, I'll make it. I'll be quiet. He's in the kitchen, just banging shit around. It's just so loud. So then I just like, all right, I'm awake. So I just drank my coffee at like 5:45 on Friday for no reason. The sun is not even up. He's like sitting on my porch, like just like reading the journal, Wall Street Journal.
Just two dudes.
It's like 6:30. He's like, you read that article this morning? I'm like, Dad, it's 6:30. I haven't read anything. Like, what are you talking about? So they're just like different creatures. Meanwhile, my mom, she just spends hours getting ready for anything we do. Just I have one bathroom. She's just occupying that bathroom for like hours. And then we're like 10 minutes before we need to leave. My mom's like, you guys ready? And we're like, nope, haven't been in the bathroom yet. Haven't done anything. She's like, gets all mad that we're not ready, blah, blah, blah. So having your parents stay with you is a very eye-opening experience. They're older and they act a lot differently than us. It's just very strange. Got used to it though. So then Friday evening, while we watched the Michigan State game, that was given. They wanted to go to Total Wine and More. That's where they got all these bottles of wine. They're big wine people.
Great store. That's a Toys R Us of booze.
It is actually an insane store.
Easy store. I have a gift card that I need to use from Christmas.
So we went there. My mom is all about like, she's like, I want to make your apartment homey. I'm like, what? Mm-hmm. It's fine. Like it feels fine to me. She's like, it's just so empty. So like they bought me like those two little wood wine racks. And then my mom's like, we need to go to Target. Like you need some stuff. And I'm like, what do you? I think it's fine. I don't need anything. We go to Target. She buys me dish towels. I'm like, I have dish towels. She's like, you need more. Buys me more towels, regular towels. She's like, hey, there's not enough towels for when you have guests. I'm like, all right. Knock yourself out. Rug. You need a rug when you enter into your apartment. It's like, oh, okay. Rug it is.
This is home is where the heart is.
Yes.
It's just like, stuff like that. Just like loading up this Target shopping cart. And I'm like, I don't want any of this stuff. Bought me a toaster. I didn't have a toaster. bought me a toaster.
You're not having
I don't use it. I have an air fryer. I just warm it up in there usually. She's like, no, you need a toaster. You need stuff on your counters.
Well, actually, some people are saying that you need everything off your counters nowadays.
I had nothing on my counters, and they thought it was like serial killer vibes. So, and they're like, "What do you want for your birthday?" I'm like, "Nothing. I'm 26." They're like, "Well, your furniture kind of is lacking. You don't really have any furniture." I was like, "Guys, I don't want any furniture." So I held that off. We're not getting any more furniture.
Nice. So
that was a big Target run. Then we went to. This is where the best part. We went to a place called Steak 48. This is like, I didn't know what to expect. My mom booked it. You know, moms, they just go in and book whatever. Reservations, I have no idea. So went there, and it was like this super bougie steakhouse. Like we sat down, and they're like, do you want black or white towels? Like what napkins.
One of both, please.
And my dad started laughing. He's
you
like,
say white, they might look at you funny. Like, hey.
He's like, not? It doesn't matter. Like, my dad was so like taken aback by this question. He just like made it uncomfortable and weird because he started laughing. And we didn't answer. And there was already white ones down. So we're like, yeah, those are fine. So that's just to give you a taste of how bougie this place was. Steak wise, it was the best steak I've ever had in my life. Confirmed.
Wow.
Not even close.
Wow.
Like, incredible.
What type of cut did you get?
You ever been to Outback?
Yeah, I have. I got a filet, Evan.
Oh.
Bone-in filet.
Ounce?
12 ounce bone-in filet. Evan, these prices were absurd. I just didn't want to break the bank.
I'm guessing you weren't paying for it, so I'm guessing it didn't.
No, but you're still like, wow, that's questionable. Bone-in filet. Didn't get any sides. Had a salad before that. I was like, I don't need a baked potato or anything. I'm just going to load up on this steak. Just melt
all you had on your main course dish was just a piece of steak, no sides.
Correct. My mom got a baked potato that I knew she wouldn't eat, so I ate like half that.
Gotcha. Smart.
Just incredible steak. I can't really describe it other than it was just like the best one I've ever had in my life. After the steak, they brought us.
What was this place called?
Steak 48.
Steak 48. Shot of Michigan Sports first sponsor. You're welcome. No free ads.
Well, I'll get to that funny story about that. Not really about that, but a funny story that maybe you think, it kind of relates. Anyways, hot lavender scented towels brought to you after you finish your food to like wipe your hands and face.
Not a lavender kind of guy.
Wipe the sweats off your body.
They handed it to me, and I'm like,
my nuts first.
Like, Mom, what do I do with this? What do I do with this towel?
Mommy, what do I do?
Like, scrub your nuts up and give it back to them. See what they say.
When these towels came, and so they like put one on his plate, and then he's in the bathroom. So he comes back, and the lady sees that the dude just left the towel on his plate for him. She like panicked, like our waitress. She sprints over, grabs that towel, runs to the back, gets him a fresh one, and hands it to him.
Yes.
Because it has to be handed to him.
Yes.
And I'm like, this place is bizarre. So strange. Nice service, though. I mean, you have to applaud them for that. And then for dessert, we had a key lime pie. Fantastic. God, I love key lime pie. It's just good. And then also this like cinnamon cookie crumble ice cream thing. I wasn't a huge fan, but my dad liked it. And then after dinner, we're sitting there, and this lady comes up. She's like, "Hello, I'm the VIP or like VP of VIP customer, blah blah blah." So I have no idea what this thing is, what she's talking about. She's like, "You guys are just so great. We're just so happy to have you here. I want to give you my direct phone number so that if you ever want to come back, you can just call me. You don't have to call the restaurant. I'll get you all hooked up in a nice area and blah, blah, blah." I'm like, what?
Did you take the number?
Dinner. Oh, my mom was like all over it, you know. You know, Carrie, she's a chatty Cathy. So I was like, wow, that was quite the experience. A very good dinner. High quality meal.
Question.
Did that Friday night. Answer.
Is this the place you sat next to Damian Pierce?
Yeah. Almost forgot. Yeah. Damian Pierce sat behind us in this like private room.
Texans running back from Florida, Dameon Pierce.
And they were like, you would think they were like doing everything to serve us, to just double it for them. Like they had people just like watching him at all times. And they also had a dude with a security. They had like security at this restaurant with like mics in their ears that like look like James Bond agents. They'll like stand there and watch.
I picture like the Polar Express scene when they all come out with the hot chocolate all around Dameon Pierce's table. Like he just has like 15 servers.
Basically like that. So I got...
Okay, wait, question though.
Yeah.
Did someone say that's Dameon Pierce? I would not be able to pick Dameon Pierce out of a lineup.
Well, we saw him. We saw all the buzz. And he's like shorter. And so we're like, my dad's like, he's got to be an athlete of some sort.
Your dad definitely asked.
No. His legs were ginormous. Like, you're like, holy shit, that is a running back. So then I just started looking up Houston Texans running backs and then pulling up their pictures. And I would hold it right here. My parents could see a direct line. And then they're like, oh, yeah, that's him. And it was like clear as day. Interesting, though.
Nice.
The only other thing was that, like, we're like pulling up to this place. We thought it was just like a steakhouse. So I was like, me and my dad at the last second, because we were in an Uber, and we're like, wait, like, what was the dress code for this place? I'm like, we supposed to be in like suits? Like, because this could be awkward. But I don't know. We got in. I was wearing a polo and pants. So not anything. Yeah, nothing spectacular, but yeah. Oh. Our waitress told us that they kick people out for dress code, so I guess we passed. Anyway, it's very interesting. And then Saturday, brunch downtown. Mm-hmm. My mom's a big brunch person. My parents love to booze, it seems like, in their older age. They just want to drink all the time. It's a lot.
Visiting cities is just like, let's eat some food and like, let's just drink.
Pretty much everything was centered around eating and drinking. And then Saturday night, we went to the game.
Wrong pipe. Sorry.
And then I drove them to the airport today. You okay?
All good over here.
Okay.
I figured I might as well use my mute feature if I have it. Nice.
Yeah. Excited. I was happy to have them. I think 4 days with your parents in your space is plenty.
No, come on.
My parents even agreed.
Imagine the 18 years they had to deal with you in their personal space.
Yeah, you're irritable.
No, listen, I'm happy to have them, and they could stay as long as they want. It's just I like living alone.
I think I heard my grandpa on my mom's side. I don't know if it was his rule or he heard it, but the fish rule when it comes to people at that old age, the stinky fish rule. Fish goes bad in about 3 days. Right around the 3-day mark, becomes a lot sometimes, in your space 24/7. The stinky fish rule.
I think this is a pretty good rule. Love him to death.
Obviously depends on the situation, but nice. Glad you had a weekend with them. Evan, to you?
I didn't really do anything exciting. It's just a ho-hum work. Baseball started this week. First week of high school spring sports. So that's going on. Shout out the girls team. They're in the Elite Eight. They play on Tuesday.
Shout out.
Who they play?
They play Ann Arbor Gabriel Richard.
Ooh.
Are they good?
Well, they're in the Elite Eight, so I'd assume they're somewhat decent.
They better than us?
I have no idea.
But we did beat the defending state champs of our division.
We did beat the defending state champs.
That we're in the driver's seat.
Other than that, nothing too exciting. Bar hopped a little bit yesterday for St. Patrick's Day.
Hell yeah.
In the town of T?
Yep, in the town of T, Other than that, I was really nothing too exciting.
How was the bar scene in Tecumseh on Saturday?
Saturday, I went in the middle of the day. It was all right. There were some cars down there. I think it was
So
a
no
little
one-
bit busier today, if I had to predict. Just 'cause
Like
today was actual.
comparably to a regular Saturday, is there more people?
I don't know what a regular Saturday.
It's just a regular Saturday. If you went to Muck's on a regular Saturday at 1 p.m.
That's probably the same amount of people.
So no extra.
Probably a little
Amount.
bit more than Saturday. Probably a little more.
I made
Grant?
fun of Alex's green beer pick, but I think it was Cody with the C's story of the Tecumseh Tavern beer. That looked pretty sharp.
It was a great cinematic picture.
That
Instagram
glass
story,
with
yeah.
the bright green, that did look nice. And it did look like it tasted good because it looked very cold. So, sorry, Alex. Better pick than I thought.
It's big of you to apologize. I've been taking a lot of heat this week.
You could spin it that you may have won the draft because you got the most buzz from your draft alone. People were talking
It's
about
not
it.
about winning. It's about who gets talked about the most.
And publicity is
Conversations
good
That's
publicity.
entertainment. Yeah, Evan always says
Yeah.
it.
That was probably my highlight. That was about it. I didn't really do jack shit today.
That's okay, Evan.
Nothing wrong
Sometimes
with
you
that.
need
We
that.
need those weekends.
Bored though.
Beard's looking good.
It's about to come off.
You trim it.
I do trim it every now and then. It's about to come off.
Looks well rounded. Nice
Mustache.
edges on
Did
the
you say
bottom.
something about mustache for baseball?
Yeah, it might be just a mustache.
Wow.
I don't know if I can pull it off.
It's not gonna look good.
I know it's not. No, it's not.
For
What
me,
would you do this weekend?
I'm gonna go through my weekend and then we'll do the Dune part at the end. Unless you guys want to just jump into Dune. Unless you want to jump into Dune, I don't know.
I mean, did you do anything notable?
Friday night, I saw Dune 2. And that, you guys know, that takes up your whole night. Well, the showtime was 6:45. Got there at like 6:35 because my friends, shout out to you guys, hat tipped me that the previews were outrageously long for this movie. So I was like, Marissa, we don't need to get there until like showtime. So saw that. And then you get out of there and it's like 10 p.m. And you're like, God, I feel like I'm in a different universe after stepping out of that movie. And then you got to go home and watch the explainer videos so you can make sure you fully comprehend what you just watched. And then that's time for bed. Because Saturday, we went and saw Marissa's cousins. Her cousin was having a birthday, and then their kids. We try to go to at least like one of their sport leagues per season.
Gave Evan PTSD on Saturday.
PTSD.
So I have a new respect for the grind that Evan went through. So we hadn't seen any of their hoops games yet this winter, and they were in the playoffs. So it was our last chance to really. So they were just staggered poorly. The first game was at 8 a.m. The next one for was at 1 p.m. That's a big gap between games. So got up, got our coffees, went to the first game. I think this was 5th grade range of boys hoops. But it was like 5th to 6th or something. Like it was multiple grades. They lost a barn burner.
Decently competitive.
The 1 seed versus the 4 seed. 29-23, I think, was the final. 10-minute running quarters. So 40 minutes, just no stoppages though. So free throws are really a cheat code. If you get fouled, you can waste a lot of time at the free throw line. And the clock stops every quarter at 5 minutes where you have to sub all the people off. So they kind of were platoon that way. A lot of strategy though, like trying to platoon your best lineup, I noticed. But I don't know. I may be a hypocrite, but there's no way when I have a kid that I'm going to yell the way that some parents yell. And like those
literally
gyms,
every parent says that.
They're just so chaotic. Like when you're screaming, when 7 voices in the stands are screaming at Johnny to pass the ball, he can't hear you. He's
yelling.
Like
Yelling is not
when you play sports, maybe you hear your coach, but you're not hearing parents yelling. You're tunnel vision. You're focused on the game. What's up, Alex?
I can remember a couple times where my dad like yells like just one phrase, like a phrase he would say to me like in the kitchen all the time, or like just be like constantly be telling me that, and then I can hear him during the game, and it's like that one phrase he yells. So it's like, all right, I heard that. but like I don't hear the rest of it. But I can hear the other parents. I've heard plenty of parents screaming at like travel basketball games.
Yeah, if you're not in the game, like you're taking a
just tune
breather
them
on the
out,
bench, you can hear other parents, I feel like. But when you're playing, like dribbling the ball, I don't hear anything.
Oh, when I was playing, I could hear them. You don't. They're not listening. You're not actively listening to them.
No.
You don't hear scream at you to pass the ball and immediately pass the ball to the corner.
Correct.
Just don't do that. Vividly remember screaming at me, "Don't shoot!" and I fired it from the corner and buried it.
There's so many jump balls at this age of sports too. Like the possession arrow got messed up a few times, and then the score got messed up. The score operator was asleep in this first game. You can't blame him.
It was early.
High school kid, 8 a.m. It was like late too, so it was what team was it? The purple team? The purple team went up 27-23. Northwestern, sorry. They were all Big Ten teams. This is Northwestern versus Iowa. Northwestern went up 27-23, but they accidentally made it 25-25. You should have heard the parents yelling, "The score's wrong!" Just like
it's
it
crazy
was the
how much they care
of the world. You would have thought it was Game 7 of the NBA Finals with the yells that were going on. And then the fun part, in between games, went back to the house, played 4-on-4 driveway basketball. One of the kids' friends came over, so there was like 2 kids and then some adults playing. Then went to the 1 p.m. game. They got the win in that game. They're the 1 seed, undefeated, haven't lost to anybody. And then went to dinner at a Mexican spot. Got a margarita. Very good. Jalapeno cucumber margarita. Very good. Very good. And then took a fat nap on Saturday.
They're going to say shit.
No. Fat nap on Saturday. Then watched the end of the college basketball games. Went to bed. Sunday, not a ton. Watched hoops. Grocery shop. Cooked. Besides that, Dune 2, we can get into it.
You can. Ask us any questions you may have, and we'll answer and tell the people your number out of 10.
We can talk about spoilers now. Spoilers here. We're going to talk about parts of the movie. My overarching review.
Spoilers.
Ben. He's seen 2 by now, right, though?
I think so. I think you've seen it.
Yeah, I think he texted the group.
Just in case. This one's for you, Ben.
I guess when you guys all said you loved it. Evan, did you text after you saw it? I know Alex did. I know Luke did. I know a bunch of people did.
It.
Like when you
thoroughly
walked out of there, was it all like, wow, that was amazing? Or was there any parts of you that were like, that left a little bit to be desired?
I think some people viewed it as like the greatest movie they've ever seen. I don't think I would like put it in that category. There's definitely parts of the movie that I was like, that could have been better. Like, and it wasn't fully, I left the theater like, oh my God, I need to see this again in an hour. But I was like, wow, that was a really good movie.
Mm-hmm. I guess, did you guys know though, how the books go? Like, were you expecting it to go like that because you knew the backstory of what the books were about?
Had no idea.
I didn't either. I learned a lot, and I do understand. Like, I'm not trying to be jerked for the sake of disliking what a lot of people like. I understand they had to follow the book, and the book sets it up for number 3, which I understand. They're trying to make a lot of money here. I'm not stupid. I get capitalism. They don't want to just get crazy at the end of movie 2 and deviate from the book because they're trying to build things up in the storyline. I will say I liked a lot of it, like 3/4 of it. I think what I wrote, the scenes that stand out to me, I loved watching Paul become one with the Fremen. I love the scene where he learned how to ride the worm. I think that was my favorite scene of the whole movie. That was awesome. Like, just the boys chilling on the hill, boys and girls chilling on the hill, rooting them on. When you see that worm on the hill, you're like, oh my God, this is a massive worm that Paul's about to ride for the first time. So that was cool. I loved when they stood up and cheered him. I would basically say from the minute that Paul like fired the nukes onto the station there, and then like the battle starts, it just felt like everything was rushed and like on 150 speed, and it was a cool visual, but I don't know. I think once they got into where everyone was meeting in the Emperor's globe, for lack of a better term, it just felt so easy and almost like cliche. There was parts of it I just couldn't wrap my brain around. I was like, why didn't the Sardaukar, his army, like actually do anything? They just stood there like bumps on a log with their swords out and let Paul walk right in. And then selfishly, like everyone's like, oh, it's easy to shit on a movie. What would you do? I would have loved if he just killed the Emperor right there. I would have loved if he just cut his head off. That would have been electric. And there was a full-on battle with his army. I was also hoping maybe he would. Selfishly, I was Team Zendaya. I wanted him to pick her. I understand the book says he picks the princess, but I hated that. I was mad. I was like, damn, Zendaya got done dirty. I wanted her to be with him.
That's good.
And
caused you some anger.
Yeah. I was just, when I was home, I was like spitballing Marissa. I was like, I would have done this. And like, this would have been crazy. But I get, they got to follow the book to set up the third. It's just, there was so much potential there with how it went on. I was like, I left disappointed, I guess. I understand.
I agree with you in the sense that when I think back on it, the whole takeover scene at the end where they like just infiltrate, kill everybody basically in like 30 seconds. Yeah, it was a little easy, a little simple, I guess. They just walked in and they won. It was that fast. And then they had their little like battle, which I thought was cool. But he didn't kill the Emperor, and then he made him like kiss his ring and all that. I don't know. You can nitpick any movie, I think.
Yeah.
I guess I get what you're saying. It's not some unreasonable movie take that you usually have. This one actually has, logic and reasoning behind it.
I thought like the nephew that they built up, I thought he was going to step in and try to prevent Paul from killing the Baron right in the neck. I thought there was going to be some moment there, but it was like, no, I'm just going to stab this Baron in the neck and he's going to die. And is that just the end of him? I mean, it was a cool moment seeing him kill the Baron. That's fine. But it was the lack of resistance. Like, they did set up in a cool way. Like, all the leaders are standing there. They hear this pounding on the door, and then they just blow it down, and they just walk in. And he just, like, stabs him in the neck. And then the Emperor's like, yeah, go ahead.
In the book, the daughter in the womb, she's the one that kills the Baron, I believe.
That's what I've heard.
They did go off book a little. But... Evan, what do you think of Grant's takes?
They're just. I'm with him on that. I'm like, the fighting scene at the end is just, it's a little rushed.
It's too quick. Yeah.
But I'm not going to nitpick because I enjoy the big time movie. Obviously, every single movie, there's going to be parts where you like and you don't like. And if it's not your cup of tea, you're going to have more things that you don't like than you like. And I also think nowadays movies, they don't give a shit how long they are because everybody's going to go watch them. And I do like that the movie makes you think, makes you follow along. You can't just sit there and just...
Like, I'm assuming Marissa just had no clue what was happening. That's how it sounded based on her questions afterwards.
No, I think she was just confirming. She was right. I was confused. I didn't, I guess, initially pick up on that the Fremen were, like, taking the Emperor's spaceships out of there. I didn't really grasp that when he said lead them to paradise. She was like, oh, they like flew away to go to a different planet to like start the Holy War. I was like, oh, okay. That went fast for me. The part that I was like confused on, and I found a Reddit thread confirming the same thing. It went so fast. The way they shot it, I couldn't tell how Paul stabbed the nephew again with all the knives that were in play. I think from what I understand, he let the nephew stab him in his shoulder and he took the one out of his own belly and then put it in his belly.
Yeah, that's how I interpreted it.
But then I was like, I kind of wish they would have filmed it better so I could have clearly seen that, because I was like, how the did he just stab the nephew? Which is fine, make me think a little bit, but I had to go do some research to make sure I felt good about how he actually killed him. I was like, the last time I saw it, it was slipping through Paul's fingers, and then it turned around and it's his belly.
Yeah, they probably could have filmed that better. Like when Arya kills the Night King, they showed like the sick visual of her dropping the knife into her other hand and killing.
A nice slow-mo for the people like me that needed to like slow it down a little bit.
If they did that for Grant, he would be like, wow, that scene was awesome.
Yeah. Or like, and then they set it up so cool too, where the nephew's like, oh, is this your pet? And he kind of walks towards Zendaya, but does nothing with her. And she doesn't get involved at all. I thought Zendaya was going to come in and cut his neck, but nothing. It was just like everyone's standing there. I understand back in, well, I guess this is forward in the day. You have to choose your champion, like in Game of Thrones, and everyone just stands there like, oh, this is how we're going to decide who's the
They
ruler.
just accept it. It is such a bizarre concept. That's
so
how that
bizarre.
works.
And like, yeah,
you're not capable of fighting. Someone can fight for you.
Yeah, the Sardakar's there, and they're doing nothing. They're just standing there. Like, I don't know. It was weird. And then, like, Florence Pugh, like, she was Florence Pugh, sure, but I don't know. I know she's going to set up for the future one because she's going to be his wife, quote unquote. I hope. I'm not going to watch the third one. I'm out. I hope Zendaya starts her army and beats the out of Paul. I hope she kills Paul. That's my goal.
You're not going to watch the third one. Like
No,
that's
out.
how like you were out. Like that movie is not good enough for you to watch a third.
Unless I hear there's a crazy plot twist at the end that's not just following the carbon copy of the books, then I don't know. I feel like they're getting too hammered by the books, which is fine because that's the goal to build it out. But that's why I still go back to why that No Time to Die was so awesome, because of the risks they took at the end. And it was like, no, the good guy's not getting out of this one. He's dead. No spoilers there, but
No, I agree. I love movies where like someone important dies. I love that. Like, especially when the main character gets killed or like someone that you like gets killed. I love when that happens in a movie because then you're like depressed and it really makes you feel all the emotions. This movie, that did not happen. All the bad guys got killed and no good guys got killed.
Yeah, the Baron dies,
movie,
but
they killed a couple. Well, I mean, I guess a lot of good guys, but we didn't know them long enough because it's the first movie.
no,
Like every like good important character that you like think is on the good side, because we really don't know who's on the good side at this point anymore. They all survived.
it was too high. You just know me. I just laugh at inappropriate times in movies when like people are supposed to be dialed in. When like, because Paul was just loving, he was like self-aware. He wanted to do the right thing. I understand that's
so fast.
What the worm piss does to you. We see him drink the worm piss, then he walks into that room, that cave that must have had 1 billion Fremen in it. Just insane. And he just is screaming in the tough, gruff guy voice. I'm like, okay, I can't take this guy seriously right now. Like, so I've spent 2 hours with him as like the self-aware hero, and now he's like, do what I say. Like, okay.
It was a quick 180.
Visually stunning, amazingly shot. The lengths they went to for this movie had to be out of this world. I'm pretty sure they filmed a lot of it in an actual desert, from what I read. So credit to them for that.
Yeah. No, the cinematography was great.
It's entertaining, but top 5 for me, no, I can't. I can't go
top
5.
Not even gonna watch the third movie, I think, is the only takeaway I had from that. But
that is disappointing. But I don't want to set myself up again.
There's more to a movie than the ending.
Yeah.
You can't like 75% of the movie and then think it's not very good.
Yeah. The one part too, I understand.
I haven't agreed with me there.
It's their culture. I don't think they need to have as many nicknames for the
that holy, is just like incredible nitpicking. Like that is just so specific nitpicking that this is like, Grant, I'm not going to like change that.
But if you just like
they have too many nicknames.
If you said that out loud to someone, like, oh, so what's Paul? Oh, well, Paul is Paul. He's an Atreides. He's also Harrican. He's also the Lisan Ali Gabe. He's also Fuzaz Hadarach. He's Moab because of the little desert mouse. Like if you just went through all
that stuff.
That's what I'm saying. I looked at Mercer. I was like, I said it today. I was like, they didn't have to have like 6 nicknames for Paul. That seems like a lot.
But he is the guy.
He's him. They could have just said he's him, and I would have understood what they meant.
Well, each nickname falls onto based on who's talking. That's why. Yeah. Some people see him in different viewpoints.
Zendaya did
different titles. They're each basically a different title for him based on who he was and what he's doing at that
Poor
moment.
Johnny.
Yeah, that's true, Evan. That's a good point. Like Bene Gesserit was like Fizolach Hadarach, however you say that. Like that's their guy. Also, I was so sick of the Bene Gesserit by the end of that movie. Just ridiculous. The mom. Actually, this was what I wanted. I wanted Paul to kill his mom. That would be electric.
Yeah, honestly, I'm with you there. I did not like her.
Just stab her right in the back, right through the baby too.
Well, she's turning into a villain. That's why.
But the baby is what's that actress's name?
Still with the hair in the eyes.
They showed her once when they did like a fast flash forward to on the water.
The next one's like 10 years in advance or something.
Did you guys interpret this? This is what Marissa and I were arguing about. You know how Paul kept having that flash forward nightmare dream where it's like the barren wasteland and the people are like on their knees, and he keeps talking about how he sees a holy war happening, and then you see his mom in the flowing dress out in front, and she kind of turns her head. That has not happened yet, right? Because Marissa thought that was the vision for when they blew up their temple, and I said, I don't think that's that. I think that's going to be in the future.
That hasn't happened.
I think that part of that future was them going down south and him taking everyone's going to die in the south if she takes over.
I think that's future, all future.
I think that was part of the.
All right, maybe it happened already. That's why I just couldn't tell.
Maybe
how literal that scene needed to be. I was like, is that going to happen?
I think it was like when she took everyone down south and it was actually happening because there was that the dream or the visions were. Like your woman's gonna take over the South and like not
tough when a movie does
and kill everybody.
Visions.
That's why I think part of why Paul drank the.
I thought he drank it because he saw the future, like of his mom causing all these problems, so he drank it.
Yeah,
but none of that had happened yet. Right?
He was trying to prevent.
I guess we don't know. Don't do too many visions in a movie because this is what happens, and you really don't know.
Stay tuned for number 3, Alex. Stay tuned for number 3.
Well, I'm watching.
She was listening to the baby talk to him or to her.
Yeah, when the baby spoke out loud, that was scary. Also, why couldn't Paul have used his voice during the fight with the nephew? Is that just no go? That's like against the bro code. I was like, why can't he just win this battle and tell the nephew to put his knife down and like stab him?
Great point. I don't know.
The only other one.
You didn't like the black and white fight scene?
Well, okay, I should say this. I'm glad I watched it in is it EMAX or whatever, the EMX theater?
I don't know what you saw.
I might be old man yells at clouds. Some of those scenes were way too loud. I was like actively like covering my ear with my hoodie. It was that whole sequence when those cartoon figures in Madden are jumping up and down and yelling. You're
hurting your cause here. You had decent points and it's just spiraling.
Incredibly loud, Alex. It was still fine. And I enjoyed the sounds for like the more intimate parts when they're talking because it felt clearer. But oh my God, was that scene unsufferable to listen to. But
did Marissa like the movie? No, probably not.
Yeah, she said it was entertaining. I don't think those movies are like really her cup of tea to begin with, so credit to her for seeing through it. But a lot of her friends were gassing it up to her too, so it helped me convince her to go. I was like, we should just go see it. Everyone says it's good.
It was good. You could say it was
the other
good.
part that I laughed at was hilarious was when we didn't see the mom for a while, but we knew she was kind of going crazy. Then they flash forward to her and she looks like Tekashi 6ix9ine with all those tattoos on her face. I was just like, how did we get here?
Yeah. She sucked.
So that was Dune 2. Team Zendaya for life. Team Chani. For a while I thought it was Johnny until
I thought it was really Johnny until like halfway in the movie as well.
If I'm being totally honest, I thought it was Johnny until I read a recap and saw it spelled out.
Okay, it didn't take me that long.
I just never heard the word Chani. So when I was listening, I was like, oh, Johnny. I got that. Johnny and Paul.
It would be way too simple. It would be Johnny and Paul.
And Desert Spring Tears. Bring him back to life. Anyways, there's your movie reviews. Let's hop into sports. Move along here. Conference tournament week preview. Upsets all over the place. Was I dialed into every one? No, but people love to say in the moment, this was the craziest conference tournament week ever. This one actually probably has a little bit of legs to it. I wrote down some of the names here. We had 6 seed New Mexico win their tournament. We had 4 seed Oregon win their tournament. They were not going to be in the NCAA tournament if they had not won it. 10 seed NC State won the ACC, and Duquesne, the 6 seed, won the A10 for the first time since 1977. So, Banana Lands conference tournament weekend.
Yeah. And it caused a lot of pain and anxiety.
Drake won last week. You could add Drake
to
to
Michigan
it.
State fans.
Drake.
Well, Drake was a 2 seed or whatnot, but Indiana State was the runaway favorites.
The better thing to think would be like how many 1 seeds won, and I don't think a lot of 1 seeds won. UConn won theirs.
UConn was the only one.
That's it.
Auburn was a 2 seed.
Well, Vermont
UConn is
won.
the only one. Oh, Vermont.
Care about the American East
I don't know
Conference,
about
Alex.
Oakland.
Vermont.
Oh, was Oakland a 1?
Yeah. You don't trust me?
I don't know.
Take a look.
I'm not going to.
Take a look.
NC State is the most wild to me. 10
NC
seed.
State has
5
never.
wins in 5 days.
I don't think that's happened once.
Nice. UConn?
UConn.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's really all for that segment. I guess it wasn't as juicy, but the Big Ten delivered. They had a lot of good games. We got Tominaga experience. I cannot wait to watch them in March. I hope they win at least 1 game.
I hope they lose the first game.
You don't like Nebraska ball, Evan?
Oh, he
What
doesn't
the hell?
know like Tominaga.
Oh, so overrated.
What? He's not overrated.
He's overrated.
He is a front runner. That is true. And
So
Grant, you can't
you
call
don't-
people front runners and not realize that he is one.
I don't watch enough Nebraska ball, and whenever I
When he
watch
sucks,
him,
he just
he's
whines
going
and
off.
complains. Yeah, but when he goes off, it is nice. It is nice.
When he goes off and then he's sitting there pumping up everybody, showboating. Congrats, you beat Indiana.
It doesn't help.
I hope they go far. I'll ride him.
Go far. They got to be
Lose.
the 1 seed in round 2.
They're going to get Houston. Don't they get Houston? They in the South?
That would be a
in the South.
hot matchup.
They get Houston.
Maybe.
Nebraska's offense
He's gonna
against
get
Houston's
strapped.
defense.
I'm going to
Oh,
tell
yeah,
them,
yeah,
if they win,
Dude, he
they're
will
probably
get
going to beat Texas
strapped by
A&M.
Jamal Shedd.
Oh my god, I'm gonna bet my entire life savings on under Tominaga's under against Houston.
Oh,
No, they won't even beat Texas A&M.
betting. That's a conference tournament angle. Trust tree. We in the trust tree before I say what I'm about to say?
Absolutely.
You did bad.
I did really bad, Alex. I did really bad.
I would go in every single day and like try to place a bet, try to get trying to get something. And I would just go to blackjack. I'd win. Oh, hold on. Every single day. So since like Wednesday or Thursday, I would try to make a parlay. I would be like, I don't know what I want. So I'd be like, okay, I'm going to clear my mind playing blackjack. I won like 10 to 12 bucks every single day, back out, and I wouldn't place a bet.
So you
Wow.
came out positive.
I'm up like $40 to $65 since Wednesday.
Well done.
I think in my last 2 days, I'm 2-10.
Oh,
I text everyone today that I figured out how I'm going to hack March Madness and bet unders on points. I went 0 for 4 today in points, under points
You
bets.
say
So
Big Ten was like 200 points. So
I was like, oh, AJ Storr, he's been red hot. I read his game logs. He has scored like 20 times under 17 and a half points and only like 5 times above it, 8 times above it. I'm like, oh, Illinois is going to clamp him. He only scored like 14 points last time. Nope, he easily went over that. So I may not bet this tournament. I'm seriously contemplating just not betting this tournament and just enjoying it.
I will say last year I had the hottest stretch of gambling in my entire life from like February 1st up until the tournament. And I was like, wow, I mean, I can't miss. I'm just going to keep this going. And then I basically lost all of that in March. So I think betting pre-tournament, great. Betting during, I don't think it ever goes well for many. Like you got to hit on some futures for that to really go your way.
That's
If
so
you just
true,
try
Alex.
to game by game bet it, it's just going to be disaster.
It's so true. The two.
you know why? 'Cause last year you got
We
everybody
just start
hooked.
chasing wins. We start
No,
chasing
you
wins.
chase
We lose.
wins, and you would make everyone do it, and you got us hooked on the next basket.
Group rides. You're just chasing the next win
basket.
because
That's
you
all
keep
we
losing.
did for a whole 2 games, and we lost all of our money. And then everyone
But
got
we
the high
hit
of
on
getting
some. And then when
lose
you
it
hit
all.
on the next basket, it is just an electric feeling, especially when everyone is riding. Oh my God, it's great. I thought Duke. We decided last year, like mid morning, we're like
Did Duke or
is the
Tennessee win
lock.
last year?
Tennessee won. We decided that Duke was the lock of the century for that day, and that we were all going to put our big guns on Duke. And Duke, and we all watch it together, and Duke loses.
It was such a bad game too. It was like a slugfest.
It was like 40-39. It was disgusting, and we lost. And then it's just you start spiraling in March. So I don't think betting game by game in March works.
I won a couple, and then I lost. I lost big on Texas. Texas was up 20 in the second half on Miami. Pissed that way away in the Elite Eight.
My biggest March wins were Creighton to the Elite Eight.
I was Michigan State versus Marquette.
Michigan State to the Sweet 16.
Oh, actually, my biggest win was Michigan State USC because I put way too much money on that.
I put Michigan State to the Sweet 16. I tried to find some underdogs that I thought would get to the second weekend and just bet that kind of stuff. And then I bet Gonzaga would play UCLA in whatever game they played, and they made it to that game. And that was it. I didn't hit on anything else. The Final Four,
I'll do that.
No one was hitting on the Final Fours unless you picked UConn to win it all.
Maybe I'll load on
the odds on like making the second weekend are great. Even for like favorite teams, they're pretty good.
It's just tough, man. Like you said, Alex, you nailed it. The middle weeks of February, I was so hot. I had it figured out where like if it was a good team going to a team in the same conference,
home and away in the regular season.
They had already played once that year, and the better team won. That the road home or the home underdog was going to win every time, and I was just cashing money line bets like plus 220 money line home bets, easy. I was like, God, sports is so easy. And then you get into conference tournament play, and like the motivations change of what each team wants to do, and
teams start really caring.
They have so much more information on these teams at this point than that middle stretch because the spotlight is so focused on it. And like the sharps come in and move the lines, and I just got dummied. And I'm just so susceptible to what my friends say. Like when I text the group, I need one winner. I got 4 bets. I bet all 4 of them, and I think they went 1-3. I was like, well, that hurts. Shout out to Ryan. Shout out to RC. That kid just pumped winners into the chat back-to-back days, and he wasn't humble about it. He said, thank you, Ryan, to let everyone know he won, but it really helped my bank account. It was the only thing keeping me afloat. So thank you, Ryan. But I'm down to 43 cents, so I don't have anything to place.
Oh my God.
Get to neutral courts and you just throw it out the window. It's over. I just don't think it's safe to bet in March. Futures.
I might load $50 in and do a couple second weekend Sweet 16 things like Alex said, but that's it.
And then you can load up. If you win those, you load up and you can use that money on Sweet 16.
But I do have this. I was actually thinking after I said it on the call, it might help me. I have to win the championship, Tennessee, and I have to make the Final Four, Creighton. They're in the same little division, but that makes it more likely that at least one of them can get to the Final Four, and then I could cash out of it, potentially, based on the draw, and at least make positive money, is what I tricked myself into thinking. If they can beat the 1 seed. If the 1 seed gets knocked out up top, one of those teams will make the Final Four, which then is pretty much cash money.
You just bet money line underdog every single game. You'll make money.
Bets, though.
But you'd have to commit a lot of money in.
I know. That's the hard part. Switching on the record to someone that was battling. The battle's now over. Juwan Howard was fired from Michigan.
Mercifully let go.
On Friday. On Friday, I think it was.
Dude, can we talk about that dude's question?
Because it was during the Michigan State-Purdue game. It was like right at the end of the game.
They tried to steal an opportunity. We tied the game up, and they fired Juwan Howard. I swear to God, they fired him right at that time.
There was a lot going on at that point.
Can we talk about
that? The guy in the post game that asked about like the race question?
Dude, yes. What are we talking about there? What is that guy talking about?
That's probably Jason Whitlock. The people in sports media that always bring race into every single thing.
Juwan, do you feel that you're getting fired because of race, despite the fact that you just went 3-18, you've punched another coach, you've had many off the court issues, and your best strength and conditioning coach just left the program because your son and you like fought him? Like, why wasn't that the question?
You can't retain the best players, so you have to.
You have no talent. You have no recruits coming in,
and through the transfer portal, you're terrible at picking addressing talent that can compete in the Big Ten.
Not to shit on
it
you.
Is. It is crazy, though. It is wild. Maybe it's, I don't know if it's lazy just to compare it to Mel Tucker, where you are like fully bought in, because I tell you what, as bad as that loss to Jaime Jaquez hurt, not getting to the Final Four, but like you think about that, he won the Big Ten in his second year. I know like there were some Beeline guys, but credit to him, he brought in Dickinson. He went and got Shawnee Brown. He went and got Mike Smith. He did have Franz. He did have Livers, but Livers got hurt for that run anyways. They lose that, and then he's bringing in the number one class in the country, and like the buzz was at an all-time high. Like I could not have been more sold on Juwan Howard to be at Michigan for 10 years in that offseason.
I remember people on Twitter said that Juwan was better than Izzo at that point.
Than Izzo.
And
never forget.
For better or worse. It was just like...
Yeah, people get ahead of their skis, but it was very fair to say at that time,
at the point, it was like, wow, who is the better program going forward? I don't know.
I mean, the dude won Coach of the Year from the NCAA for his work, and then was bringing in the number one class.
2021, he had 3 losses at one point, just like late into February, March.
Dude, they
were legit.
Wisconsin was ranked like top 25, and they beat them by 40 points in Chrysler. They went on like a 25-0 run, and were just dummying teams. And the offensive sets they ran looked really sharp. I was so bought in on this dude in that offseason. And then they played cat and mouse, had a bad regular season, but made it to the Sweet 16. Made it to the second weekend again. Like, oh, we're still okay. We show up in March. And then wheels start to fall off more. You get the scandals, really on-court scandals, honestly. It wasn't even anything in the background. It was just like in-your-face anger problems.
I mean, I think the locker room was pretty bad.
Yeah, well, so
a lot of me guys.
About the timeline of this event, we go back a month ago and Ward Manuel was saying, I haven't thought about getting rid of Juwan, and you had multiple people kind of plugged into the program saying, I think he's going to get one more year like Harbaugh did in the COVID year. But things continue to unravel. The Athletic, Brennan Quinn and Cage Strang released a piece that was a little bit more inside the walls of Michigan, of like, people thought it was almost like a bullying culture. Though, to be honest, if we're being totally honest, the examples they gave in the piece were not that bad. It was just that Juwan like said he was going to slap the shit out of Jet in practice, but it's like dads snap at their sons all the time. I personally didn't think it was like a crazy story that they told. When I read it, I was like, oh, that's like what this expose is about. Like, this is what John Sanderson leaked to Brennan Quinn, because it's so obvious where everything came from. Sanderson left, was mad, and then basically gave all the details of things he had seen, but they weren't that bad. But again, that's like the cherry sundae on top. The record on the court is really what is going on. They won 8 games. So
I saw that the president said Ward, or it's you or Juwan. So that's why Ward did it. Like,
that's a juicy tidbit. I hadn't seen that anywhere, but I mean,
you should have just fired both. You should have been like, okay, you fire Juwan, then boom, fire Ward right after.
The rumor boards say that the Ward's not really doing this hiring, that the president is. Whatever.
Makes me feel better, I think. Maybe.
I don't
Blog
think
boys are out there in full force.
You said, Evan, that the blog boys can be used for coaching searches. You did.
Don't remember. It's nice to know who's in the running, but some of these people saying, yeah, this guy's a fully guarantee. I have my sources.
I haven't looked at any Michigan coaching yet. So whatever Grant says, that's what I know.
The only blog boys that matter is the truly Donovan Burner account, because that guy is so plugged in, it's not even funny.
But there's not transferring anymore, so...
Well, let me look at the transfer portal list right now.
I have a feeling if you haven't hired anybody yet, or if you haven't even had a word yet, that means the person that you're getting is a current active like team. Like the coach is still like coaching right now. That like
could be Porter Moser now. He's available. He's going to the NIT.
I do think
because it's just like it's like NFL or college football or anything. You don't really hear much. Obviously, there's like rumors or whatnot, but you don't really get official until teams start losing.
The juiciest blog boy rumors I saw was that Brad Underwood's interested.
Brad Underwood just got a fat contract stipend just because he won the Big Ten tournament. He just unlocked like a bunch of incentives and everything.
Brad Underwood would be interested, as well as
if I was Brad Underwood, I would not leave.
Fran McCaffrey.
Oh, you do not want that dumpster fire. Well, obviously Fran McCaffrey would want it. I was not a...
Let me respond to those interests. I don't want either of those coaches. Respectfully. Nice guys, whatever. I don't want
Brad Underwood would make you guys good. He just
Brad Underwood
I
has
don't
it too
want-
good
I
at
don't
Illinois.
want him
Why
at
would you
Michigan.
want to leave that situation?
He doesn't need to leave Illinois.
Would he
And-
bring Sanderson with him? Might be in then. Might be back in. I could see this
Brad
going.
McCaffrey would be disgusting.
I have no idea of a timeline. I haven't heard any word about that. Obviously, you have that one end of the spectrum where Bama football gets rid of Saban and they have a coach in like less than 72 hours. I don't think we're looking at that. I think it could go at least a week to 2 weeks. But again, it all depends on if someone's actively coaching, which I think we're going to have to wait till this tournament starts to conclude
Which
to
is
figure out who we're
stupid.
hiring.
This is why Ward's terrible at his job. He should have fired him as soon as senior night ended. I don't know if you guys played on that Saturday or Sunday. He should have been fired. And an interim coach realistically should have been coaching the Big Ten tournament because we know 14 seeds never won it.
Yeah.
To
I
speed
do know
up the
that,
coaching search, that way you guys get out there because a lot of teams have already hired their coach or those teams have like signed an extension.
Ohio State helped everyone
Yeah.
out after they just hired Diebler, though.
Yeah, true.
But
But like
this-
South Carolina's
but that's
coach
all-
just hired a contract extension. He's not leaving.
that's fine. though.
McDermott just signed a contract extension. He's not leaving.
Yeah, I don't think we'd ever get McDermott. I do have my wish list. I will say, though, as long as Ward is actually having private conversations with people, which any athletic director that's worth their salt would already kind of have been calling people since, I don't know, early, like halfway through the season, like January, Ward should be reaching out to people secretly to see like if it's going to go this way. So as long as he has someone or a couple guys that he's got like verbal yeses from, but they can't publicly say it because their team's in that tournament, that's cool with me. I know the transfer portal is a tough spot because that's already being opened up, but it's like, I don't know. I don't know what else we're supposed to do if you're going to wait for a guy that needs to finish coaching the tournament. You're going to have to wait for him to come to Michigan because he's probably not going to leave his team in the big dance just to take a new job.
No.
So this is what I have here. My short list, I have them in 4 categories. Dreams with a little reality, realistic, and then up-and-comers are my 4 tiers that I have. Dreams, I hadn't even thought about this guy until I saw it in an athletic article from Brendan Quinn, who was decently plugged into the program. Maybe he was just throwing out there for clicks. He mentioned Tony Bennett, which got me really jazzed.
I'd be so
No.
sad. I'd be so
I'd be
pissed.
pissed.
And when I thought about it, I was like, he's got it made at Virginia. They love basketball there, but he has been there like a decade. You never know if people start to get tired of a place. He has Midwest roots with Wisconsin. Maybe he would want to get back into the Big Ten. I don't know if that's true or
No.
not. They did make the tournament, so he's not going out on a low note. If they missed the tournament, I thought this would be more realistic. But I guess if he wants to go, he'd go. He would be a dream for me. I would
Yeah.
love Tony Bennett.
No.
Can't have him.
I'm
As a Michigan State
vetoing it.
fans.
And that's how I know it's a good hire.
It would be a
Based upon
great
your
hire
rivals'
for you guys.
reactions.
I would be nervous.
I would hate playing you guys
It'd be
every
boring.
single
It'd be
year.
boring basketball.
Be-
I'll tell
We
you
would
that.
play some 36 to 30 games.
Pack line D, but good. It'd be a good
I would
comparison
hate
because
your
watching
recruiting
that,
would
though.
suck. You'd get
Would
like
not
one
doing
player,
that.
but you guys would have
Oh,
good
dude.
on the team. You guys would actually.
and he's used to recruiting at a school that has like tough academics, transfer stuff. So
Standards,
he'd be
yeah.
really good coming into
Makes
this.
a lot of sense.
Other dream would be Jay Wright. I don't
No.
expect it to happen at all.
No,
but that would be
no.
a dream.
can't have him.
Veto.
I think Bennett would be more realistic than Jay Wright if I had
Jay's
to pick
not.
between the two.
Jay's not coming out of retirement.
I don't
Every-
think either really
Every
would,
coach
but
is willing to listen, depending on the offer.
Well,
You
not
throw
those
12,
two.
13
We-
million. You throw
That's
12,
CBS
13
studio
million dollars
money.
at Jay Wright, he'll listen.
We
that's
vetoed,
CBS
actually.
studio money, dude. He's got to be making big money.
Just promise
Veto.
that you'll start building up new facilities.
Veto.
The only hard part for Jay, though, is I'm not going to get into the weeds.
Bobby
It's not
Huggins
worth
is
it.
available.
Saw that flying around.
There's rumors
okay, now
that
next
he's
one.
Louisville's number one target.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense.
That'd be a
if you
good
get
hire.
there. All right, so now we got dreams with a little bit of reality.
Doubtful.
This is still shooting big, but little reality. The top person in this tier would be Nate Oates, but the extension does hurt that. I
Just
still
signed an
think
extension today. I
If the
think.
buyout is big enough, I think extensions are more for show. I think if you pay someone's buyout and he would want to come back to Romulus, Michigan, where he started it all, that's the only reason there's a little reality there because of his ties to the Midwest. And if he got tired of, I guess Michigan's a football school too, so that doesn't really help you. But
Saban left. He's outside of that shadow now.
yeah, that probably hurt it too. If Saban was still there, I would be more convinced because he would have saw Harbaugh leave, coming to
Also-
Michigan.
building that Alabama program to be pretty solid, and he recruits well there.
Yeah.
And he can recruit anybody. No academic standards.
Next guy on this list, I'm pretty much all in on this guy. TJ Otzelberger, Iowa State Cyclone, dog.
Be a good hire.
The reason he's still in the dream category, well, one, he's doing amazing things. Two, Iowa State is basketball crazy. That's the only thing they really care about. That's the A1 in that school, and he's from there. I think it's an alma mater job, so it's tough to lure those guys away. But at the end of the day, Michigan destroys Iowa State when it comes to money, I would imagine. I feel like we could give a bigger bag, so I would hope that would count for something. Next one. This one, wouldn't expect it because he's had success at his school, but little reality because changing conferences, bad athletic department. Mick Cronin would be sick, I think, for the Wolverines. I would love his intensity that he would bring, and I think he needs to get back to the Midwest where he was good with Cincinnati, and I would welcome him with open arms.
I think that'd be a good hire for you guys. I think that would be really realistic.
He's been really good at UCLA, and besides this year, they're also a blue blood program, so hard to leave that. I would think still viewed as a top job in college basketball.
It is.
I don't know.
It all depends on if he gets tired of that West Coast lifestyle. We'll have to see. All right, the last one in this tier, which I can't believe I wrote this, but I have to give the guy credit where credit's due. I also, funny enough, I don't think it's as realistic as some of the others in this category, but I did put down Shaka Smart in this tier because I have to respect what he did at Marquette.
You never know. He bounces around.
The thing that holds me up with him is that Marquette is so basketball focused, and I think that's where he wants to succeed, where things didn't work out at Texas because they just care about football, and you might run into that at Michigan, which could hold him back. So I think he might just know what he has in Marquette, that they just love basketball, and you can't argue anything else. He makes his teams guard hard. They play great defense, and if they go on a run in this tournament, it'd be more of a home run. If they struggle again this tournament, I don't know. But it's impressive what he did at Marquette after going through Texas and people being out on him. He took VCU to Final Four, got Marquette, top 10. I would take him. Easy. Going faster now, realistic category, just two names here. This doesn't necessarily mean I want these guys. These are just ones that I think like we can dream about those, but these might be what you're doing with. And the first one would be Porter Moser, who... fine. Again, it's all an improvement. I'm not going to be mad at any of these because he knows ball. But I just can't tell, like, between the Loyola Chicago, he hasn't been as good as Oklahoma right away as I thought that he might have been. So I don't know about Porter Moser.
They've been bubble every year, pretty much.
Part of me is like, did he just get like a lucky class at Loyola Chicago and that was what it was? Because some of his other seasons weren't as impressive. So I don't really know what to make of that resume. Same one that I've been thinking about, Dusty May is all over the place, buzz everywhere. They somehow got an 8 seed. I don't know if, again, that was a fluke Final Four run or he's actually smart. I mean, he's not dumb. He's not stupid. He's probably great X's and O's. I just don't know what Dusty May looks like in 5 years from now if he's Michigan's head coach.
Fair.
And so my last two, which I could almost make a case in my own brain that I would want these guys more than those realistic, just because it's like the young, hot, fresh thing. And then maybe they are your coach for 20 years if it works. I really like the Drake coach, Darian DeVries. I've looked up him a little bit. Midwest guy, went to Northern Iowa. Son's a baller. He's only been a head coach at Drake, but he's got 3 seasons where they've had single-digit losses. He walked in there 24-10. He's won 20-plus games every single year at Drake and winning the conference tournament multiple times. If you're going to take a swing on a guy from a lower level, I'd take a swing on him. The other one that we've talked about, it's kind of a bit, but I do like him, Drew Valentine. I think he'd be great at recruiting at Michigan, relating to kids, and I think he's only going to go up from here.
Yeah, he's going to go right up into East Lansing in 5 years. So veto.
What if Nate Oates takes that job then? Drew never gets a shot.
Drew's getting his shot.
The one crazy name I saw floated in the burner chat that I think was just from like earlier in the year is there was real smoke from people that John Calipari would have been semi-interested in the Michigan job. at one point in time this year. That was stunning to me, and I think with their success, because they were going downhill, Evan, and I think now that they're back up, it's fine. But that was very intriguing to me. That was, I don't know. There was multiple people saying like,
bait.
That's not real.
He's got the #1 job in college basketball.
Yeah, he has a lifetime. He does have a lifetime contract, but they'll run him out because if they don't make the second weekend this year, they're going to be pissed at him again. They've talk about that for the last 8 years. That's what I'm saying. It's a crazy fan base.
Dude, I'm pretty sure it's exciting to watch like 50% of NBA players on your team every year. Like 50% of the NBA is Kentucky.
You should listen to a Kentucky radio show sometime. It's not all rainbow.
Anything about sports.
No, they know ball, Evan.
No, they
with
don't.
Their accents. Having awesome NBA players on your team every year does not hurt.
Well, why don't we win championships? Because it's college basketball. They're 18 years old. You never know.
You've won a couple, so shut
up. The other elephant in the room, obviously, is do you entertain a second dance with Beeline?
Oh yeah, you do.
I don't know where he fits in with this. I would take him over. I would take him over the Porter Moser Dusty May tier and take him for 4 years, get things on track, and then handpick who's ever next. I would easily sign up for that.
What if he gets to handpick?
Yeah.
What if Beeline says he gets to come back, but John gets to pick the next one?
Washington.
I would love that. No, it would not be. I would
Who's that defensive coach you guys had?
Yaklich.
Yeah.
Dan Dockich is available.
You'd have Donnie Trump as his assistant coach.
You guys can have
Gino Auriemma. Huh? Why
Greg
not?
Campy.
Why haven't you said him?
Oakland's coach, Greg Campy.
It's a good question. Why don't I have the LSU? What's her name?
Oh, it's Malky or something like that.
Oh, Kim Malky.
Kim Malky.
Are there any other candidates, like in a serious manner, not joking manner, that you guys would think are realistic for this job?
Yes. Micah Shrewsbury.
Oh,
I like that. I heard someone mention him. I think the Sleepers media mentioned him.
He left 1 year too early.
Should not have left last year for Notre Dame.
I don't know what his buyout, because they're a private school. I don't know what that buyout looks like, but he turned Penn State into a team that you did not want to play for a few years, and I can respect that because that's a tough job to take in basketball.
Ben Johnson,
he'd be good.
Minnesota's coach, up and comer.
Bryce Drew.
What about Richard Pitino in New Mexico? Lobos dancing. Do you bring him back to the Big Ten?
Dumpster fire for Minnesota.
I'm just throwing out. There's a lot of Mountain West.
I just had a name.
The Colorado State coach Nico Medved is getting a lot of buzz because he used to run a John.
I just had a name in my head.
Style.
Who was I going to say?
Bryce Drew's younger brother.
Well, Bryce Drew is the younger brother of Scott. Oh my God! I was just going to say somebody. Who was it?
I don't think there's any other big fish that you go ask.
Buzz Williams.
I don't know.
Who was it?
I like
I was typing in
Seth Greenberg from the ESPN studio.
Jay Billis. God damn it.
Reese Davis.
Dick
Vitale.
Sean McDonough would lead you us to the promised land.
What conference? Help us.
I had him on my name, and I was just going to type this in, type this school in, so you know exactly, butcher his name. Now I can't think of what school I was going to type in.
What conference? What part of the country?
You can always flirt Billy Donovan's name out there.
I would do that. I want that on the record. I would do it if we gave him enough money for recruiting.
God, his career went so strange.
Who was I going to say?
They just left for the Thunder?
Yeah. It's like if Beeline actually stayed in the NBA, but never really won anything.
But was in the NBA for a while and decent, I guess.
Oh my God.
He's still so young too.
Drew, and then I was going to type in
Eric Spoelstra. That'd be a dream hire.
Where does Bryce Drew coach, Evan?
Bryce Drew coaches at Grand Canyon right now.
Nailed it.
So you're thinking of a West school.
I'm thinking of a small school like that. Tom Green's available.
That would be great.
Tom Green. The hard boss.
It's over. I think all the it's going to hit me eventually.
All the realistic ones are out there.
You need to get, and I was going to Bryce Drew. I know he's at Grand Canyon. Typed in Grand Canyon, make sure. And now I was going to type in.
Evan, you don't have it. Just San Diego State's coach.
No.
Brian Dutcher. Red Wings update.
MSU plays MSU in the tournament.
We need Dylan Larkin back for the Islanders game this week. It's a huge game. That's all the Red Wings update.
Michigan State, Michigan.
All right.
Big Ten tournament, hockey championship.
Should be mentioned.
$530. Are you guys going?
No. But I'll watch. BTN.
Who was I? Oh
I want to try to get into that, but I don't want to be like disingenuous because I don't really care that much about it. But I feel like it's going to be like people are going to care about it a lot, so I should try to make myself care about it. I watched the
entire semifinal game over watching tournament basketball.
That's fair. Those games weren't. That was just the ACC game at that point. Or no, were you in the middle of the Big East final?
I was in the middle of the Big East final. Didn't even watch a second of that game because I knew UConn was going to win.
Yeah, I guess those were blowouts. UConn blew them out, and Iowa State blew them out. Michigan's next coach, TJ Altenberger.
I was going to tell you, you need to get this guy.
Maybe we'll think of it during. Is he in the NCAA tournament?
I want to say yes, but I don't know.
All right, I'm going to share my screen here so we can fill this bracket together.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully, it doesn't get too laggy or anything. For the uninitiated who have never watched us do this before, so
go back last year and watch. Next, we will. I'll set up the bracket challenge probably tomorrow. We'll tweet it out. We'll post it everywhere. Join it. So there's not really a prize. It's just we'll shout you out on the show. That's what I meant, like saying that you're smarter at knowing basketball than us. Say the school out loud so we know, just in case you forget.
That's good because Evan was not himself until he gets this. Because you can tell he's his mind somewhere else.
It was. I got it.
Who is it?
Yep, Sean Miller.
Oh, Xavier.
That name was difficult to pronounce?
No, I was just making sure I knew where he was at.
He did say at one point, I got to make sure I pronounce it right.
Correct.
He did.
Sean Miller.
Yeah.
Former Arizona coach. Archie Miller's available.
Sweaty.
Is he at Dayton right now?
Nah, Archie Miller.
No.
Sean's at Xavier.
Archie's at Dayton?
No, Anthony Grant's at Dayton.
Sean was at Dayton and then went somewhere else?
I know every coach in America right now.
Archie was at Dayton and then left for Indiana.
All right, let's get into it. UConn over Stetson.
So how this works, it's like a best 2 out of 3, whatever. Moves people on. And then you get one override. So what that means is if it's majority votes, let's say UConn through here, but I really want Stetson to go through. I can say Stetson goes through, and that's that. So we fill out this bracket together, we submit that, then we each fill out our own brackets individually. So
UConn.
Without further ado, UConn. What do you guys think about this one?
I think Northwestern is too injured. I'm going Florida Atlantic.
I think Florida Atlantic matches up very well with Northwestern.
What? How much do you know about Florida Atlantic this year? I don't know.
Florida Atlantic still has their number one post player.
They're 5-out athletic basketball team. Northwestern's
missing Ty Berry, their number 2 scorer.
Not that.
All right, I'm in with you guys. All right.
San
Diego State.
Is Jelly Walker on UAB?
Yeah. Defense versus offense. Which one do you prefer more? Which one's going to travel?
I'll take the
defense.
Aztecs.
I'm not going to override it, so go ahead.
So here's my theory. This is you like UAB?
You like UAB, Evan?
I think I would. I would personally pick UAB, but I'm not going to override it.
I don't know anything about UAB. Nothing.
So here's my theory that we'll see over the course of this tournament. There's a lot of teams that were ranked poorly in their conference tournament that won. UAB was one of those upsets. So if you're an upset team like that, I think you're just going to falter in this first week. And I think San Diego State. Oh well, that just
they were
disproved everything I just said. Then
USF was the 2. I think UAB was like 4.
wagon.
I like. San
I'm
Diego
good with
State
that.
Still,
the Aztecas. Then let's take them.
Auburn boat race. I know everyone picks the Ivy League every year.
Got my Auburn shirt on today. SEC champs, baby.
They can just put up points. Princeton's the best team in that conference too. Not even Yale. So
Princeton was the best team.
I like that.
They shit the bed.
See, like this right here. This team, Duquesne, was a 6 seed. I don't like that.
6 seed. They should not even be 11. They should be a 14 seed.
Right.
Let's do it. So it's an obvious BYU. I would have thought about Duquesne. But
Mark Pope, also Michigan candidate. Mark Pope, maybe.
Mark Pope.
Good first year in the Big 12.
That's fun to
Fighting
say.
Illini. Finally get out of the first
Morehead
round.
State, though, they did have an upset one year against like Vanderbilt, right?
It was like 2009.
Louisville. That was Louisville. One of the first games of the day.
I love Drake here.
popular. Are we all in on the Bulldogs? I'm in on the Bulldogs.
I gotta click on the game first. Stop. Pause.
I don't think Washington State's that good. They have
That
2
is a
wins
late
recently.
night. 10:05 on True TV. Woo.
Cowboy
How do you?
watching.
This says TBD here. How do you have the time?
The times
What
are
are
out.
you looking at?
Grant.
Times are
I have
out
them in front of me as
10:05
well.
True TV. I don't know about you.
Cyclones
I love the Bulldogs.
in a boat race. Oh,
Washington
Drake in
State
Iowa?
is only. Oh,
Wait.
you guys already picked that.
Storyline game. Otzelberger used to coach South Dakota State. For
Is
those at
Drake
home, so that's good
located
stuff
in
right there.
the state of Iowa or Zadia?
Yes.
Well, Iowa State Drake, a little in-state matchup.
Drake's coming
Second
in
round.
hot. Holy cow.
I love that. We do need to. You guys have to be good about. I need to say the matchup out loud for those listening, not watching. So Iowa State, South Dakota State. We're taking Iowa State.
Yes.
All right, we're moving to the West bracket now. North Carolina versus the 16. Let's take UNC.
The West bracket.
All right, we got MSU versus MSU. Who do you guys think is going
First
to win?
game of the tournament.
I'm going to take
After
MSU.
the-
Oh my
Plans.
God, it is. It's the 12-15. I was right.
Michigan State.
I actually do like Michigan State in this game. I saw someone. I think the guy that does good work on Michigan Twitter. His name's like G something. G Wizzy. What's his name?
Greg Waddell.
No. That's who I got confused with. It's the guy that DK Spartan Hoops.
Yeah.
He released the screenshot of Ken Pom, and Mississippi State turns the ball over a ton. 1 in every 5 possessions.
And we run
So,
in transition top 20 in the country. So
rebound, run, layups, Tom Izzo and March. First round, move on. And
all right.
it's TV.
Feeling good about
Yes. All right. Now we have a
Whoa,
5-12
this
Bryce
is sneaky
Drew.
because Evan hates St. Mary's.
I
Hates
hate
them.
St. Mary's. Absolutely. I'm going to pick Grand Canyon just so I get my vote out of the way.
Dude, this kid,
Grand
Ty and
Canyon's a
Grant
wagon.
Foster. Look at this kid. These guys look awesome.
Dude,
I
Grand
kinda wanna
Canyon
pick
is
this
good.
team.
Yeah,
What was their
but
record?
St. Mary's
Screams.
is one of the best defensive teams in the country. That's the only thing.
They probably
to
are
fault
going
them
to
for.
strap this team and like play their
Can I see
tempo and
Grand
everything.
Canyon's last 5 results? They beat
So they
San
beat
Diego
San Diego
State.
State.
They lost to Seattle. Yuck.
But they played them 3 times.
Conference tournament.
They beat San Diego State. I like
I think
that.
this is going to be a game for sure.
I'm down to take Grand Canyon as an upset. I don't think St. Mary's will go far, so I don't feel bad about it at all.
Yeah, and they're losing next game anyway. So let's go Grand Canyon.
I've been on GCU. Evan's been talking Bryce Drew up a lot.
Bama. Charleston
guy,
was
though-
the darling last year and they lost.
Little-
blew it
Little
for
fun
everyone.
fact about Charleston, their coach, I believe, is Pat Kelsey. He also is an uppercomer that could be a candidate for Michigan.
They were like 30-1 last year and they lost first round.
Let's see. I like to look at the underdogs. Do they win anything?
They got killed
No.
by Florida Atlantic.
I got notes. We got Clemson, New Mexico. Vendetta pick for Alex.
Lobos.
I'll go for Wyatt.
Oh,
Clemson's like probably decent, but like
they have
Lobos.
forever.
one of the best players in the ACCs on their team. So,
That white big
Really?
kid.
yeah, their post player.
PJ
Yeah,
Hall.
PJ Hall, he's pretty good.
Oh, Joseph Girard. He's like 27 years old. They have Jamal Mashburn. We got to take New Mexico.
I don't even know who that is,
Yeah.
but sure.
I
man.
like New Mexico.
And
His
Jalen
dad
House,
was
the
a-
son of NBA legend.
was a
That's
big-
2 NBA sons right there.
Oh,
Baylor.
that's a storyline. Love that. Baylor versus the toothpaste, Colgate. I like Baylor.
Colgate's in every year though. Shout out to them.
Dayton,
I think they have
Nevada.
like the
This-
6th longest streak in the NCAA.
Hey, there's always games in the tournament you forget about. I'm telling you right now, this 7-10 Dayton, Nevada, I don't give a shit about this game. I will
Yep.
not watch this game.
You will be
2
watching it,
mid-majors.
Grant, because it is on at 4:30 p.m. on TBS. You will be watching that. It's in the middle of the day.
Unless it's like a buzzer beater at the end, I am not tuning into this game.
Flyers.
Quad
We
box.
are
Come on, he'll be
Mountain
on.
West.
He'll be on your TV.
I like Dayton's logo.
I mean, with the
I'll
quad
take 'em.
box, Grant, it'll find a way.
Grant, can you preview
All right,
that
we wrap
game?
out.
Can you give me a little? I don't think
Yeah.
we need to not just like skim through this.
Dayton's good though.
No, but I'm telling you, Evan, I could care less about this game. This is a logo pick for me.
Let's try to
What-
get
what
these
if they
right.
done?
At Houston.
Let's try to win. Let's try to get these right.
They beat
Mexico
TCU.
beat this
That's
team
the
by
only thing.
45 points. Mexico
know,
beat
man.
Nevada by 45. Is that what I just saw?
I like that Dayton has
Northwestern
at least
beat
challenged
Dayton, though.
themselves with Houston. I like that they played Houston. Ew. VCU, they lost by 49-47. That's disgusting.
I still like Dayton.
I
Kind of
don't know
limping
anything about
in,
these teams.
but
Evan's not going to override it.
Zona.
I know he wants Nevada, though.
I don't
Zona.
care. I really
Long
don't
Beach
care.
State shout out, though. They won the Big West. They cashed my bet to go part of the 2 wins I had in my 2-10 stretch. Shout out
won
Long
the
Beach
Big
State.
West with a fired head coach.
Yes, storyline. Fired their coach, won the tournament. Awesome.
Houston Longwood.
All right.
Houston.
Moving to the South region, Alex. Relax a little bit. Houston, Longwood, Houston.
Keisei Tominaga against
Texas A&M. I'll get my pick in first. I'm picking Texas A&M.
I got Nebraska in this one. I think Alex picked
Texas
Nebraska.
A&M. I haven't picked. Texas A&M has like 9 quad 1 wins. I'll take them.
No.
I actually have
Tominaga.
followed them reasonably closely because I have friends that went.
They
there,
have like
so.
5 or 6 like quad 3 and quad 4 losses.
Yeah, they lose like bad games and they win big games.
Do you guys know the huge storyline in this game?
Former Big 12 opponents. Yeah.
Nebraska's
Nebraska's athletic director
left.
just took a bag to go to A&M.
Oh, you can't write this shit up.
Will Compton
Nebraska
is going to be
revenge.
courtside.
Changing my pick.
Well, Compton's going to be
Will
is that game in
Compton.
Brooklyn? Is that why?
Will Compton asked Matt Rule for courtside seats, and Matt Rule said, I got you. I like Nebraska. Are you changing, Alex? Did I convince you?
I like A&M.
Wisconsin
Evan
versus James
loves-
Madison, 5v12.
Loves James Madison.
They're wrongfully
I'm ready to
seeded.
ride.
They are wrongfully seeded.
I'm ready to ride. Let's ride then. Let's just do it.
We
Let's
ride
Put them in. I
the
hate
Dukes.
Wisconsin.
This is the
too.
best
I still hate
Wisconsin's
Krabnoff.
offensively team, though, in the last.
Yeah,
They don't
but
play
what wins in
defense,
March?
I'm trying to win the
Defense.
bracket. I'm trying to pick a winners.
So you want us to go Wisconsin?
I have no idea.
But who's James Madison beat this?
results?
Oh,
They beat us.
shit. They beat Michigan State.
That's about it, though. And play.
Yeah,
I don't
Akron.
like they keep saying
They
L0.
beat Akron.
That's confusing.
That's a tournament team.
Yep.
by 14.
Good thing you don't have to play App State in the tournament. Yeesh. Ew. No, I love James Madison. Let's do it. Hey, you guys in? At least one of you?
Yeah, no,
Wisconsin is not going to go to the Sweet 16, so I'm
You
cool
don't
with
win on the first round picks. You win on your Final Four being right. Duke.
Vermont. As much as I'd love Vermont to win this game, I think Duke's
just
probably
too.
win. But Evan, I'm willing to go there.
Nope. Duke's way more
Duke.
athletic.
No, look at this kid. No, I don't like the look
Vermont
of that
just
kid.
runs the American East. They just dominate that.
6 seed Texas Tech versus 11 seed NC State.
I'm out on this miracle run. These dudes are going to be gassed. They have played so much.
They play the 21st. They didn't even give them a day off. They have to play on
It's just-
Thursday.
It'll be their sixth game in like 10
6
days.
games in 7 days.
But Butler
just
beat
not
Texas
happening.
Tech. Is there a Butler rule? Because Butler beat Texas Tech.
I mean, that's their magical run. I mean,
Who is Texas Tech beat? That doesn't matter.
BYU
Kansas
tournament
does
team.
not matter. Kansas doesn't matter.
Baylor.
they killed Kansas.
BYU twice.
I don't
Baylor,
know, dude.
BYU
NC State
twice
could
in
win
Kansas?
this. NC State could really win this game. I'm taking
I'm not
the
opposed
Texas
to
on
it.
the record. For
Evan,
Cody
what
to
was,
see.
what was your pick?
I hate picking these games. Where's this game at?
I don't know.
It's in the
Does it tell
South
me if I hit
region.
preview?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's in Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
Oh,
That
I like that for
favors
NC
NC
State.
State.
I love NC State for that.
Let's do it.
I'm going to pick
Boom.
NC State.
Kentucky.
3 seed versus 14 Oakland.
This
Oakland's
is
my team.
the
I
possibly
am taking Oakland.
worst matchup
Worst
for
matchup
Oakland.
they could have got. It's
Because
I know.
Oakland runs their little matchup zone, and Kentucky's just
Kentucky's going to light it up. They're going
Feast and
to light
famine.
it up.
You guys can take Kentucky. I'm taking Oakland just for my pride.
The
Oakland
bad
can
news
score
is
points.
that if that Townsend kid balls out versus Kentucky, Cat Power's going to steal him from Michigan State.
Yeah, that would
Hmm.
suck.
All right.
I'll be
7
cheering
seed
for Oakland.
Florida versus 10 seed Boise State,
Florida's good.
Colorado.
Florida's
Florida's
good.
Florida
good, but they're not
is
as good with their number one
good.
center is done for career.
Yeah, that was
I like
that was a
Florida,
gruesome
though. They're
injury.
athletic. and they
I
can
do
hit
like
shots.
Florida a lot.
Yeah, and
I
Butler
like
beat
I like
Boise State.
sneaky like
I'm not
like
picking
going
Boise State in
some
any
distance.
game ever.
Yeah, agreed.
When you see Florida in the tournament, that logo, I still think of Corey Brewer and Joakim Noah. So I
100%.
think that they're
Pretty
gonna
much
be
every
good.
time I see Florida in the tournament, I put them a decent amount because I just think they're going to be.
Automatically give them a win.
Marquette versus Western Kentucky.
I
We're
don't
taking
think Western
Marquette here.
Kentucky's a 15 seed.
No, this could be tricky for Marquette.
Like that, the Atlantic 10, what's their name? Okay, I'm blanking on them. Just the D,
Just
Alex.
Duquesne.
Duquesne, yes. Duquesne should be a
Duquesne.
15 seed. And then James Madison should have been at least like a 7 or an 8 seed, in my opinion.
Purdue.
Midwest bracket, number 1 Purdue versus this playing game that no one cares about, Purdue. All right, 8-9. We have Utah State. Danny Sprinkle leading the Aggies versus TCU, the 9 seed. I'm going to need to look at this one.
I don't. Yeah, we're going to need.
All right,
Utah
well,
State
they have
has
a player
great
named
record.
They have a player named Great, which I love. Great
And he's their
Osibor.
best player.
Go Jameer
Greatest.
Nelson's kid. Oh, that's
Storylines.
Utah State has no wins of any note.
9:55 tip on TBS, if you were wondering,
Not a
Grant.
single win in there that impressed me.
Friday
Houston.
TCU
night.
beat Houston.
Yeah. It's going to be the Horned Frogs for me.
Who's TCU's coach? Anyone know?
Jamie Dixon, Jamie
Dixon from Jamie Dixon
On
from
TCU.
Pitt.
All right, I like
He's a
TCU.
TCU alum.
Yeah.
All right, 5 Gonzaga
Scary
versus
game
12
for
McNeese.
McNeese.
I'm
Scary
taking
game for
McNeese.
Gonzaga.
I don't care what you guys say. I'm taking McNeese. They've lost 3 games this year. They're a wagon. They also beat Michigan, which is actually on here. That's funny.
They beat UAB.
Also,
They beat
sneaky
UAB.
coach. I would hire Will Wade in a second. I don't care about the scandals.
I was
I was
Give
gonna
me Will
say,
Wade.
he's got some baggage.
I do not care. That guy can coach. I love McNeese.
Anytime
don't
I can
care,
cheer
'cause I
against
don't
Mark Few and his DUI, I'm on board, Grant. I'll cheer for you.
We'll ride that just for the sake of this podcast.
I'm not overriding Gonzaga.
Counterpoint?
I could care less.
I said we'll ride it.
Counterpoint to
Like,
you
we'll
guys.
ride it.
Counterpoint to you guys. Gonzaga, I think, beats Kansas in that game. So I think we might be knocking out a Sweet 16 team if we get cute with this.
Bulldogs.
I think Stanford has a good chance to beat
I
Kansas.
personally think Gonzaga wins against McNeese.
Should we make this the 12 versus 13 chaos bracket? Because I'm down for Stanford. I think they're going to beat
Stanford's
Kansas
5th in the
as well.
country in points per game.
All right, let's do it. I like McNeese.
God.
But also, Purdue's a risky 1 seed. They might lose, and then one of these 2 teams we're knocking out, Gonzaga and Kansas, and makes like the Elite 8 or Final 4. That's the tough
Alex,
part.
you've talked
Wait,
all
no.
year how bad Kansas was. Now you need to talk Grant.
Oh,
off the
yeah.
ledge.
No, I
You
do
can't
think
die in this
Kansas
hill
is
now. Then
garbage.
when it comes gut check time.
Kansas has 5 players. They have no depth, and Dick is injured. So
What are we doing here, though? Gonzaga, McNeese. I will do McNeese.
I like Gonzaga.
Ooh, I'm doing McNeese. I'm doing it hard.
Let's do it.
I'm not overriding.
Mark Few has a DUI. Never forget.
Kansas, Stanford. I'm taking Stanford. I don't care. I'm doing it.
I'm taking Stanford.
I think
Override it,
Okay.
Alex. I dare you.
I'm not overriding.
Look at those huge wins for our team.
Those are 5th in the country in points per
I don't
game.
Oh, they lost to
They lost to
They
Purdue.
lost to Purdue
big.
by. All right, I might take Kansas.
Got murdered.
But then is McNeese
I
going
don't
to beat
think
Kansas?
Kansas has lost in the first round in like 30 years.
Fine, I'm on Kansas.
Look up this stat, Alex.
I don't know how to look that up.
Alex, you
but
got-
Alex, are
hands.
you on Kansas?
I'm on Kansas.
All right.
Just look up Kansas'
do
record in
Kansas.
first-round games.
It's pretty
South
good.
Carolina, Oregon, 6 versus 11.
I like South Carolina.
Oregon shouldn't be here. I'll take South
I
Carolina.
like the Gamecocks.
I love the name Michi Johnson.
They have a new
as well.
player back in their lineup. He's like a 5-star. He's been pretty good.
3 seed Creighton versus 14 seed Akron. I like the Blue Jays. I have them in the Final 4.
Love the Blue Jays.
I might
here.
bet.
Baylor
Spoiler
Shireman
alert.
is a good player.
Allie, former Butler player. Any
Great.
wins? Oh, they only lost to Utah State by 3. All right. Texas, 7 seed versus 10 seed UVA, Virginia, or Colorado State.
I actually hate
This
all
is-
3 of these teams.
This is. I will also not watch this game. This is gross.
Texas is not very good. Virginia's horrible. Don't know anything about Colorado State, but I'm assuming they're not very good.
This is tough because if Virginia gets in, I think they win this game because they're just so weird to play. But if Colorado State gets in, I could see Texas winning.
I'll go long.
Anyone want to? Evan, what do you want? You want to hook them? for Alex?
I like Tony Bennett in March, though.
I don't think any of these teams beat Tennessee, so I don't care who we pick.
Agreed. I do think Tennessee boat races any of these 3 teams.
I like Texas. I don't care.
Tennessee versus St. Peter's Darlings. I got Tennessee.
Alex, I got it for you. Last time Kansas lost in the first round, they lost back-to-back years. 2005, 2006, lost in the first round.
I was going to say, it's been a long time.
All right, round of 32. We got UConn versus FAU.
People think this is sneaky.
I got the Huskies on my end.
I mean, but in fairness, Kansas is usually always a 1 seed. This is ridiculous.
Evan's
still on Kansas.
This is bullshit, dude.
Evan, what do you think about UConn FAU? Evan?
I like UConn.
UConn is my favorite to win it all. Nobody can beat them.
I don't think that's true.
All right.
But
no, I do.
4 versus 5. True. 2 teams that have made the Final Four.
I don't think San Diego
State versus Auburn.
I don't think they're as good this year as they were last year.
Yeah, because their best player is on.
I like Auburn.
The best player transferred. I think it's the best player transferred to
Arizona.
Yes, thank you.
Auburn.
I like this. I'll give you a reason because Auburn's actually a physical team with some dudes. I think they can bang bodies with San Diego State.
Auburn has depth. Like if you watch the SEC tournament, they rotate guys and nobody plays more than like 18 minutes a game.
They can also score 150 points in a game.
Because I really want to see this matchup, UConn-Auburn. That's an electric factory for the Sweet 16. So that's what I'm hoping for.
In Boston.
Illinois, BYU. I like Illinois. I like
hate
the Big Ten.
BYU. I think they're
BYU shoots a lot of threes, and I think Illinois' 3-point defense is actually one of the best in the country.
Illinois' defense isn't very good, but they will body BYU.
And BYU is always overrated.
All right, this is spicy. 10-seed Drake versus 2-seed Iowa State.
I think this is a game.
Yeah.
I got Cyclones.
I would take Drake's
Oh my God, Drake's definitely winning the first round matchup because in-state rival. Juicy.
Where do I... So how come in the round 32 doesn't show you where the game's being played?
It's the same site as the first.
Same site. They just don't have a time.
Oh.
Same location.
10-1. I guess I'll go Iowa State. Iowa State. But
I think they're in Spokane. I think they're in Spokane,
They just murdered
Washington.
Houston.
Yeah. Their defense is too good. And they can shoot.
They're a good team.
All right, moving to the West. North Carolina 1-seed versus the 9-seed Michigan State. Might be the most watched game of the tournament, if we're being honest.
It will be of the round of 32.
I said that for Alex's sake.
Oh, man, that's in Omaha.
Oh, that's a great game for that.
The Iowa State Drake game's in Omaha. This one's in Charlotte.
I like North Carolina. That's no surprise.
Big.
Me too.
Okay.
Not big, but I do like them.
No
one's beat us big all year. That's not just going to happen this time.
Huge.
Bama.
12-seed Grand Canyon versus 4-seed Bama. I like Bama.
I think Bama and North Carolina is a hot matchup.
Yeah, I like that a lot. 11-seed New Mexico versus 3-seed Baylor. I kind of like the Lobos in this one to get crazy.
Bears.
There's something about these two NBA Suns that I think I can just see it going to the Sweet 16.
I can see them showing the dads on the screen in the crowd and then like getting all hyped. I can see it.
And you guys pumped Baylor, and I've never thought like if they can't shoot, they're going to be so bad in this tournament. I like New Mexico, but I understand if you have to take the Bears.
I don't have to.
Mountain West does have to get a team to the second weekend with all the bids they got over the Big East, which was absolute horse.
True. Let's pick New Mexico. Why not?
Yes. Yes.
Override it. Alex. Do it.
No.
7-seed. Everyone's going to save their overrides to double override each other in the Final Four. And it's just going to be like the standoff. Which we should clarify. If Alex overrides it, I can then override that to go back to what I wanted. That is fair. You can do that. And then Evan could override it again if he wanted it back. Number 7-seed Dayton versus 2-seed Arizona. I didn't feel good about Dayton getting here, so I like Arizona.
Yep.
And Caleb loves a star. Isn't that right, Evan?
And they're redeeming themselves from last year.
Oh, we still have another region. 2 more.
They've played.
South seed.
They've already played this year.
South region, Houston versus A&M.
And it was a game.
Alex. Yeah, they did play a game.
No, it was a game. It was very
70 to
close to the
66.
end.
Wasn't this Wade Taylor kid from Colorado?
I don't know. Wade Taylor's really good, though. Houston and Texas A&M played at the Toyota Center. Fun fact.
I like Houston because they had heartbreak last year, and they're going to wake up after getting smacked around by whatchamacallit.
I think this is a game for a while, but Houston wins.
12 seed James Madison versus 4 seed Duke. This would be awesome if the James Madison Dukes beat Duke. Oh God,
Game in
Blue
keep up
Devils.
with that.
James Madison doesn't have a post that can guard Filipowski.
But what if Filipowski gets hurt in a court storm?
No, he realistically
Okay,
won't.
I'll do Duke.
I like Duke.
I'll do Duke. I hate it. I
like
want
James
Duke out of this
Madison.
tournament.
Duke Houston is a good Sweet 16 matchup too.
Evan,
We all chalk.
Evan's putting it out there.
I like James Madison. I'm not over.
What do we have so far? We have an 11 seed there.
We
got some chalk.
Chalky.
I will do James Madison. I will do it.
You don't have to.
I don't care about Duke. I feel like Duke is not going that far.
You don't think they can get to the Sweet 16 as a 4 seed?
No, but I don't think they make the Final Four, so I'm fine knocking them out now and losing a couple points.
I think Duke's going to beat Houston.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it be. 11 seed NC State versus 3 seed Kentucky.
I really
Kentucky.
liked
I have Kentucky.
Texas Tech to beat Kentucky, but didn't get there.
Override it.
It's too late.
Can't override everything.
NC State at this point has to be gassed now. I mean, if they weren't gassed in the last game, they have to be now. Kentucky.
All right. 7 seed Florida versus 2 seed Marquette.
Gators.
I love these logos.
Gators.
I would want to do that with you, but Marquette got bounced here last year. I think they learned
Tyler
from that and they
Coley's
at least
out.
make this.
No, he's not. He's back
No,
for the
he's not.
tournament.
Oh,
No, he's
that's
not,
that's even better. If he comes back for the tournament, they're going to have a tough time gelling. They played well without him. It might cause problems. Gators.
No, I like Marquette to at least make the second weekend in this one.
2 years in a row losing. It's the 2 to the 7. Gators.
Evan, your pick?
Come on, Evan.
Ooh.
Chop it. We're
Oh.
chalky. Chop it.
Oh, I would pick
Don't
Florida
chop
if they
it.
didn't just lose their starting center, but I can't do it.
All right.
I'm picking Marquette.
I also love Marquette
Kentucky's
versus Kentucky as a
boat
2
racing
seed.
Marquette.
Midwest region, number 1 Purdue versus 9 TCU.
Oilers.
I know Evan's going to say TCU. He's a man of his word. He says they can't make this second weekend. But I like Purdue.
Can't. Matt Panders.
Boilers head to Detroit.
I like Purdue at least to get that far. 12 seed McNeese versus Kansas. I got McNeese here. I think Will Wade comeback is such a huge storyline in this tournament. I really do.
I like Gonzaga here. So I'll take McNeese.
God, I do kind of like that, Alex. Thinking back, Gonzaga wins this and Gonzaga beats Purdue.
I think Gonzaga
All right,
would beat
McNeese.
Purdue too. I think Gonzaga
I
would go
don't
all
think
the way to
Gonzaga
Elite
would
Eight.
beat Purdue.
Alex,
Go
you said
back.
McNeese out loud.
Well, I say Gonzaga.
So then you
What
said
Evan
McNeese
say?
for this?
I didn't say anything.
I want McNeese to play
I'll
Purdue.
go McNeese for fun. Because I think Gonzaga will be in this game.
Any override over there?
F
All right, 6
Kansas.
seed South Carolina versus 3 seed Creighton. I got the Blue Jays.
Creighton.
Cox.
Whoa.
7 seed Texas versus
Balls.
2 seed Tennessee. I got the Volunteers.
Wow, we are chalky.
I love this orange matchup though. That's good
I think the
stuff.
Balls. Texas is not very good.
All right, any overrides before we start the Sweet 16?
Killing.
Nope.
Number 1 UConn versus number 4 Auburn in the East bracket. This is good stuff.
This is where the upsets start.
Does it happen here though? UConn
No.
is so fundamentally sound. I don't
so
think they get
good.
beat by this team.
So
UConn's
in
too disciplined.
Brooklyn.
UConn's just too good. It's in Boston. Now that it's Sweet 16, it's in Boston.
Oh, I like UConn then. The pride
Boston's
of
a
the
region?
Northeast.
I thought
Yes,
the region
East.
was New York.
No.
Are they going to play in the
It's in
Garden?
Boston.
No,
The TD Garden?
last year was the TD
Last year
Garden.
was Madison Square Garden, so it's this year's in
Yeah,
Boston.
it's probably TD Garden. Yeah, I'll take UConn then. I'll be a big UConn fan.
The first 2 rounds are in Brooklyn.
All right. 3 Illinois versus 2 Iowa State. This is where I began my Big Ten fade because of how we're officiated.
I genuinely
will
think
go with
Illinois is
Iowa State.
talented. They're
I
a
do think
talented
Illinois is
basketball
very
team.
talented. They're one of the best scorers.
And the great time Izzer said they're the most talented team in the Big Ten.
But Michigan
So you
State
guys
did
both
beat
taking
them.
them?
And really should have beat them twice.
They got swept by Purdue, though. It's kind of embarrassing.
Everyone gets swept by Purdue.
Kind of embarrassing to get swept by the second best team in the country.
Are you guys both taking them?
Are you going to override it?
I don't know. I just see Coleman Hawkins making so many turnovers in this game against Iowa State. I think Iowa State's just slept on because obviously, like, they're Iowa State. We're just not tuned into them. I want to give them the respect they deserve.
What they did this weekend was
what you want to do.
Because what they did this weekend is
do.
hard to ignore. They just murdered Houston.
All right. We wait nervously for an override from Evan.
I hate that both of them won their conference tournaments.
Number 1, North Carolina versus number 4, Alabama.
Tied.
I don't have a reason for this. I feel like Alabama upsets North Carolina, and then we get like the Nate Oates revenge factor from.
I don't think
how
North
bad it was
Carolina
last year for them.
is that good.
If we look at this, they both have 21 point per game guards.
Alabama's defense is the worst. Terrible.
But North Carolina's
this game
very good either.
Yes, it's
this
a
game
lot
might
better
be an
than
absolute
way better.
track meet. This game's gonna be a
I'm
track
picking
meet.
North Carolina.
It's good. This game's going to be like 96-92.
Hands down, I'm picking North Carolina.
Like a
They're giving up
veto.
over 100 points in losses.
Like enough to override it. Should we make them? Should we make them make that call, Alex? Because I feel like the Tide just somehow win this game. That's a lot of losses. Look at their notable results. They're not painting a pretty picture here.
They played a hard schedule.
They're in like every game though. What did they do in the SEC tournament? Who did they lose to?
Lost to Florida in the first game that they played. They lost 101 to
North Carolina. Fine, Evan. You convinced me.
I don't care.
I'm doing Alabama as one last warning shot if anyone wants to change.
North Carolina.
North Carolina. Big.
We are so chalky. And then we're definitely going to do Arizona 2 versus 11. We're just going to be 1 versus 2, 1 versus 2. Maybe it happens this year. Who knows?
Yeah, the most parody college basketball season of all time. I'm sure all the 1s and 2s are going to win.
Everyone
Yeah,
Arizona?
I'm picking Arizona. I can't pick the Lobos.
The Lobos. All right,
Duke.
South region, number
Houston.
1 Houston versus number 4 Duke.
Houston.
Duke.
I got Houston. It's like Tennessee when Duke got bounced. Houston's too tough of a team for them.
Way too tough. Duke's soft.
Give Alex a second. He's thinking in his
Duke's
brain.
baby shit soft.
You scroll down on the bracket.
Yep.
Got to see where my override's coming because it might not be anywhere else.
I don't think I used one last year.
I hate it. I hate our bracket.
That's in true Evan fashion, like the fantasy draft. Like you just saving for 2 overrides the next year.
National championship game. It's always just a 50-50.
I'll let it ride because that game is in Dallas. And
Kentucky, best defense versus best offense. That's what I want. I need.
I like Kentucky.
So wait, who's who? Is Marquette the best offense?
Kentucky
or is
is.
Kentucky the best
Kentucky's
offense?
the best offense.
Yeah, I'll take. I can't get past Kolick.
I love
Kentucky. I'll take Kentucky.
Love Kentucky here
Yeah, you do.
because I don't think Marquette's in that game.
Purdue versus McNeese.
Marching.
I like McNeese.
Oh my God,
I like
Detroit gets
McNeese.
the worst Sweet 16 thanks to us. Great job, guys.
Better than
McNeese.
having
Go to
Gonzaga there.
I'm gonna try to go to one of these games if they're good.
Oh my God, it's going to be an expensive ticket, Grant.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Grant. I've already been looking at Dallas's Sweet 16, and it's very expensive.
I'm down to keep the McNeese train going if anyone wants to.
Purdue.
Purdue.
All right. Elite Eight on the doorstep. All right. Now we got Creighton versus Tennessee. This is my bets colliding. I have to ride with Tennessee because I have them winning it all.
Give me the McDermotts.
Give me the McDermotts as well because Rick Barnes can't win in March.
No.
I need to
Creighton.
think for a second.
Grant.
I mean, I bet on both these teams to make the Final Four, so I don't really care in a sense. it's just more. Okay, I'm down with you guys because Creighton's way more balanced, and if they can somehow stop Connect, they can win this game. But Connect could also go for 40 points and just take it over, which no one on Creighton can. Like Baylor Shireman, I don't think can get to 40. He could get to 25. I don't think he's going for 40. But I'll go with Creighton because they're more balanced.
Oh, God, this is so chalky.
So chalky.
Cyclones.
All 4 1 seeds. UConn versus Iowa State.
Cyclones.
UConn make another Final Four. I think UConn at least makes the Final Four.
UConn.
But I don't like them.
Override. Can't do it anyway, Trent.
Evan is overriding.
Well, I don't want
the Final Four.
He's not wasting it yet.
He's gonna. We're gonna do 3 overrides in the national championship game. That's what's gonna happen.
I just don't know, dude.
Said it.
Because the problem is, if UConn wins this game, I see them winning their next game. I just don't have them winning it all again.
I have Iowa State here, but Evan is overriding, so.
I'm not overriding.
Well, it depends on what I pick.
Yeah.
The team that everyone picks every year almost never even gets to the Final Four.
Strategy, should I pick Iowa State since Evan tipped his hand so he has to use his override?
I think that's a great play.
Okay, fine. I'll take Iowa State.
Good.
Override Evan.
They're the best team in the country by far. It's not even close.
It is
true.
Close.
UConn is going to win the national championship.
Don't even think that overrides.
You really don't have to. They're the best.
Just like last year, we said that about someone, and it did not
say that about anybody.
All right, we got number 1 UNC versus number 2 Arizona.
This will not happen. This game will not happen in the West.
I kind of agree with you. In my personal bracket, I'm going to figure out a way for this not to happen. But
Michigan State's just going to be awesome. North Carolina.
Caleb Love versus his old team. This is so good from a storyline perspective.
They wrote.
I think Caleb Love scores 55 points and they beat UNC.
I like Arizona.
Sure, I don't care about that.
Actually,
game.
I do like Arizona. I don't think North Carolina is even going to be at this point.
Because Michigan State's going to beat them.
Not really because of that. But I just don't think they're that good.
I don't think Arizona gets to this point.
I think
North Carolina just has a bunch of white kids.
No, they don't.
What's Arizona's route to this point?
Dude, they added Cormac Ryan and became a 1 seed this year, and last year they missed the tournament with all the same dudes. They're not that great.
They did beat Duke at Duke. You know, it sucked me in.
They were also
who does Arizona
just lost to random teams every Wednesday night. They'd lose to like Georgia Tech and then other shitty teams.
All right, so Arizona has to beat Long Beach State, Dayton. Okay,
Arizona blew a second half lead against Oregon.
Arizona's doing the same thing. They're just losing games they shouldn't. Both of these teams are fraudulent. That's why they don't think they will be here. Ronnie, though.
Okay, but the only thing I can say about Arizona is their path is pretty cookie cutter to get to this point. Like, we have them beating Long Beach State, then Dayton or Nevada, so they're for sure in the Sweet 16, unless they totally choke. Then they have to play Baylor or Clemson. We had them play New Mexico in our case, but like they should be here. So I'm cool putting them in the Final Four on the off chance to, like, people won't have Arizona in the Final Four, I don't think.
I will have Arizona in the Final Four. In my personal bracket. It's the revenge factor.
Because you like the capital A for Alex, because it's your name.
I actually, in drafting, when we had to do the logos, I did do the Arizona logo. Not because of that.
Be playing at the home state. Home crowd.
West Coast. Okay. I like that. All right. South region. Number 1 Houston versus number 3 Kentucky.
Glendale.
Oh, okay.
Dude, all these teams
they're in
are
the West
so
region too, so they get
fraudulent. There's no teams where I'm just like, oh my God, they're so good. Except UConn.
Yeah.
So what I like here, spoiler alert, I like both 3 seeds in this. I like the 3 seeds playing in the Final Four, Kentucky versus Creighton.
Sure.
So I'm going to take Kentucky
I will
in the
not
first
be
one.
picking Purdue, so I will pick Creighton for you.
I'll take Kentucky.
I like Kentucky. I
do think Kentucky could easily lose in like the round of 32 or win it all.
Yes.
So
yeah,
they're pretty suspect.
They might lose
to put in the Final Four.
They might lose to Oakland. What'd they do in the conference tournament?
Lost first game to Texas A&M.
Yeah, Alex, you're right. Like, there's a world where Texas Tech wins and they just like strap Kentucky, and we're just like, oh, well, Kentucky's out.
Yeah, Kentucky is going to be all the way or a quick out.
But if Kentucky gets to Marquette, they're going to dust them, I think.
They'll
so I do
Marquette.
feel good about. All right, let's put them in the Final Four.
I don't know why we just bet against Houston, who's arguably been the best team all season.
Because they just can't score when it matters.
That game's in Dallas.
Kentucky fans will be there. Purdue versus Creighton. Can't have Purdue in a Final Four. I'll take Creighton. And they have a big guy, Kalkbrenner, who can bang bodies with Edie. I think they're just a better team.
Boilers.
They have better 3-point shooters still.
You have to give the Boilers the arc.
When Purdue's out there, they don't even play 5-on-5. It's literally like 2-on-5. Whoever has the ball, it's like, how do I get it to Edie as fast as possible? The other three don't do anything.
It sucks because Purdue looked bad this week. We should have beat them. Then they lost.
Here's your counterpoint, Alex. Creighton has seen a big in Klingon from UConn, who's also very good at sports, and they knew how to handle them at home. I think Kalkbrenner will be fine against Edie, and I like Creighton a lot. I think
also that game, though, Creighton made 18 threes or something ridiculous.
Yeah. Which, you put Baylor Shireman on Fletcher Lawyer, good night. So I was
love
say
the guard matchup for Creighton versus Purdue is really beneficial. We go Blue Jays. Hate our Final Four. Just despise it. Looks gross. This won't happen.
I actually like this. I actually don't hate this Final Four at all. Now that I see the Final Four,
UConn Creighton. Oh my God, Big East final. UConn back to back.
All roads lead to the Big East. We got snubbed so bad.
As they get snubbed, but
dude,
they're laughing.
I hate our bottom game. One of those teams is going to be our national title game.
Well, looking at it last year, Alex, it was Florida Atlantic or San Diego State.
First matchup is 1 UConn versus 2 Arizona. Who do we like?
I like the Cats.
Well, Alex, who'd you pick?
I like the Cats.
You don't.
Wow.
You said they shouldn't even be there. We don't like
them.
They
shouldn't. So I'll take UConn. I just don't.
I'll take you.
This game won't be happening. This game will not happen.
A lot of
these two teams will not be in this game.
No, this game could happen. Dude, there's a part of me, though, that thinks that Balo guy, the center, athletic Arizona team, like they could disrupt Klingon for sure. But do they have enough supporting cast outside of Caleb Love?
They have enough.
Like, who does... Arizona could beat UConn. They definitely could beat UConn.
Yes, they definitely could beat them. They're very good. They're well coached.
But their conference was so bad. Sorry, I'm just looking at their team. Larson, they have the Keldon Johnson guy Keyshawn Johnson, who's very good from San Diego State. Who have they beat this year? They beat Duke by 5. They blew out Wisconsin. They lost to Purdue. Purdue's got Edie.
Purdue's really good wins.
UConn has Klingon. They lost to Florida Atlantic. All right, I'm taking UConn. That sealed it for me.
I just despise this bracket.
And you haven't used your override yet, Alex.
No.
That could be it.
Kentucky. I'm not getting an all Big East final.
Versus 3 Creighton.
No Creighton.
Evan, you're doing Creighton?
Yeah.
Who'd Creighton lose to in the conference tournament first game?
I think they got upset by Providence.
Oh.
But Kentucky lost to Texas A&M.
Oh, these teams shouldn't be here.
I am taking Creighton. Say it, Alex.
I said Kentucky's going all the way or they're losing round 32. So override Wildcats into the Final Four or into the national championship game.
Override Creighton back to the Final Four. So they're all out. So we got number 1 seed UConn versus number 3 seed Creighton.
It's the worst. This is the
April
worst.
8th. I have
why you can't make a bracket
reaching the
with
summit.
people.
Creighton wins the series.
Creighton's going to win the national
can't win the series because teams that lose their first game don't make it to the semifinals or conference tournament has never won the championship since like the 80s.
That's a crazy stat. Is that real?
Yeah, 100%.
Good thing Michigan State just has to get to the Final Four. They don't have to win.
Yep.
Alex, come on. All the overrides are out. Let's let the Blue Jays raise the banner.
Oh, this is so gross.
It's the best team in the country.
Everyone's going to pick UConn, though, Alex. We could be different. No, I don't know. Maybe it's smart to do UConn to like hedge our bets. I don't know.
Yeah,
I love the story of Creighton winning, and I do think they have
not playing in this title game.
Creighton has the guard play to do it, though.
Although they did make the Elite Eight last year, and they were a point away from winning.
They got lost on a buzzer beater, basically.
Billy Donovan, back-to-back champs, Florida. Give me UConn.
All right, I can live with that.
We're not winning the bracket, though.
Full points.
Points? 1.
Let's say 6.
I don't know. What do you guys think?
These two teams.
Points, 70.
Nerves of a national title game, 136.
Let's look at some of their previous ones. They played each other twice, obviously.
Yeah, but national championship, they get nervous.
So it'd be like 62, 66 to
136.
60? I'm cool with that. Under 140, I'm cool with. Evan, you passionate about anything different?
Not really. I'd like a couple more points. Give me up to at least 138.
130. Who's some of I'm looking at some of Creighton's like bench players. I'm wondering if they're deep enough to make it this far.
They're not.
138. Let's enter those sweepstakes for sure. We want to win a car and a house.
The first game on Friday is Northwestern, Florida Atlantic. That's a big determinant in the tournament, that game. As well as the first game on Thursday. They just know that those two games are most important in the tournament.
Well, we did it, guys. We picked UConn to win it all. Look at us. All Big East final.
Did you see the teams that declined the NIT?
Bunch of them are.
St. John's did.
St. John's, Pitt, Memphis, Ole Miss, Indiana, Oklahoma.
Butler's in it, right? We took that thing, right?
Did you?
I'm pretty sure. I think we have like a 9 p.m. tip. I will not be watching. I can promise you that. I watch one tournament and one tournament only.
Mark Tice show just released their brackets, and nobody has Michigan State winning the game.
Yep, we play Minnesota at Hinkle Fieldhouse Tuesday, March 19th at 9 p.m.
Tough matchup. You locked into
Maybe
that?
I will watch. No, I'm going to watch the first 4.
Ew. Oh, we got to learn about Boise State, Virginia, all these other shit teams.
Indiana State's head coach Josh Schertz is going to be the next coach at St. Louis.
What?
That's gross.
Yeah, so he will not be on Michigan's list at all.
The Billikens.
All right, well, I'm excited to see when the first game tips, which will be you guys, and we can see each other's brackets and what we came up with.
Join our bracket.
How do you guys watch it on Thursday? Are you watching?
I have to. I'm going to be watching it in school. Work.
I think they'll put it on the TVs at work. They put the Big Ten games on a TV at work, so I'll probably just watch that.
We're streaming it from this computer.
Don't think I'll be very dialed in. Try to take my lunch accordingly.
Might bring my iPad to school.
11:15 tip time. I can't. I have to work. So if I take lunch
from like 11 to 1.
I have an hour.
11:15. You could probably do 11:30 to 1. 11:30 to 1:30. Nobody would know.
No, they would know. I just take lunch 12. You don't think so? Oh, Central Time. 2:30.
It's a 2-hour game, so 2:30.
What time do you think the game will end?
It's not starting at 12:15, so really it's not tipping off to 12:20. 2 hours. 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Oh, 2:30?
2:30, 2:40. So 1:40 your time?
Take a lunch with 17 minutes left in the second half.
Well, we are Big Ten, so it might actually be a little bit shorter because there's not going to be as many fouls.
17 minutes left in the second half. I leave the office. That's the plan.
All right. Cheers to having a bracket, and good luck to you guys. It must be nice having your team in the tournament.
Thanks, Grant.
It is March.